affiliated. I'm affiliated. I'm affiliated. I'm affiliated.
This video is under fair use. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act in 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or purpose use tips the balance in favor of fair use. All rights and credit go directly to its rightful owners. No copyright infringement intended. Enjoy. Oh yeah, on your way out, make sure you like, subscribe, and comment, man. This is the Argument League. Turn up.
Well, it's no shine in the tail.
Snapping off film.
Yeah. Vanglorious Vanguard.
Knowledge born.
Yeah.
United Front.
Tell it.
What you want.
To the Knowledge Radio.
We in here. What you got? Dot.
Work hard as a slave to one day be your savior. The wave unwavering. This is a labor of love. Rise with a purpose every day. Invigorated. If we were on TV, we'd be 10 times syndicated. If we waited for validation, a paycheck, or accolades, we'd be starved, already lost, or ran away. But when you're square, solid, and you circle too, you don't need a place for silence. The concept is conquered through media, not areas of people activity. A mix that don't lose ethnicity. Tightness that don't lose elasticity. Explicitly, this isn't where we give the novice regard. Nah, this is where knowledge is born. Last time that I checked, I'm undefeated. Deliver edicts, can't resist when the gods build and manifest freedom. When lines get crossed, they may push a loss, cause they get handed a check. We kick your can and cancel your cancerous gestures. A prophet vision, precision, the prescription for the sickness is to inoculate your fate with the winning. Arrogant beginnings turn to humble endings. And US with KBA is a win-win. 1K.
The man is not allowed to fly a plane in his own country. But you want to convince the world that this man is not only a threat to his neighbors, but he is a threat to the entire human family. You are a liar. Liar, and the people are intellectual cowards who sit down and suck up this filthy lie.
Man, I've been rapping for a minute, I don't see how niggas hate on it. Swab Boss the greatest, motherfuckers should wait on it. Even if my album drops 10 years from now, nigga, it's gonna be the hardest album out 10 years from now, nigga. The Swab Boss, you niggas should see that shit. Whatever I am in the old niggas should be that shit. Whatever they say they gon' throw, I don't agree with it. Just had a couple of my old and come at me with it, man, it's Swab Boss. The reason why these niggas get hauled off if 100 niggas die for this cause, it's a small cost. I'm trying to get my people on their feet again, nigga, but I'm back smoking weed, drinking Hennessy, nigga. And maybe that's why I'm not back on my shit. It's Swab Boss from 2-6 who moved out to the bricks, hooked up with Bingo from 5th. Now we know we does shit, now they know they should quit trying to make it hood rich. All that bullshit on your mind, ho, I wish you would spit. Niggas know what I'm about, and they wish I would flip. Niggas ask about a track, they wanna hear that shit, but when I ask to do a track, they don't permit that shit, man. And that's the type of shit that I don't say, man. Niggas know from the go that I don't play, man. Coming straight from the streets, and I can't straight, man. They ain't fucking with him, cause he don't pay, man.
Why are the Europeans so insecure about other people in the world? And why do you, after everywhere you go, you gotta kill and murder the rest of the people of the human family? Your history is written in the blood of the black, the brown, the yellow, and the red. Why are you so insecure? Do you know what brings about insecurity? What brings about insecurity is when you have a false concept of yourself. And the false concept of self is white supremacy. They believe that they are better because they are white. And as a result, see, when a man has that kind of silly mentality, Hitler had the silly mentality that the white man, the Aryan, is superior. So then at the Olympics, Jesse Owens kicks up all the Aryans. Hitler is outraged. He's angry.
That's very simplistic.
Yeah. Well, you need it to be simplistic. You need it to be extra simplistic.
You see, they can't even take the
reality. I know they can't handle. You know, look. When you take a brick, and you hurl the brick among a pack of dogs, only the dog who gets hit yelps. Think about it.
Shout out to the family, man. Big on the track, Z on the cam. That's snapping on fam. Shout out to Solarmind, the commissioner, Solar Vision Debate League, the greatest debate league on YouTube. Shout out to Knowledge Born Allah, Do the Knowledge Radio, Knowledge Born Allah on YouTube. Shout out to the AOI, Goldmine, Brandon Bay, Wicked, Radical, I'm from Pro Black, Hurricane Katrina, Ground Zero. Shout out to the King James 13, Anti-Bully Inc. Shout out to the judges. Shout out to the peers. And shout out to the reason we're loyally here, the people of SVDL. Welcome to the Argument League. This is the boy Suave Boss, man. I hope everybody doing great and having a great day. Shout out to Asiatic Lion in the building, man. Spinny Sparks, Anonymous Hebrew. We got Astro, Roly Trolleys Avengers, Correa the Introverts, Free Spirit, Y'all Daniel. Shout out to the brother, Ms. Danova. Shout out to you. And of course, Malik Ryan, big bro, always holding us down, man. It feels good to be a real nigga. Just gotta let y'all know that, man. So it's been a whole little clusterfuck of shit going on. Polite had some charges come out. Accusations of molestation, sexual encounter with a 14-year-old based off the DNA evidence of semen that matches his being found on the girl. So this comes out and everyone turns toward, of course, Sonetta to be like, damn, what's up? What's up with this case? What's up with your boy? Is he good? Who is this we talking about? Do you know anything? Is there anything you could tell us? These are some atrocious things we're hearing. Taking a girl without a mother's permission, giving her alcoholic beverages with drugs in it. That made her passed out. Her waking up with his fingers down her throat to make her throw up, and my speculation to get the drugs off her stomach because he thought she killed her. To the semen being found, her mouth being swole, him holding the mother down, trying to physically restrain her to say, hey, we can't go to the authorities with this. It'll ruin my career. None of that. None of that from Sonetta. You know what we get from Sonetta? Let's talk about y'all Negroes. Let's talk about y'all Negroes. Y'all the ones that told me bring them back. And look at what y'all doing. Taz got a record. Solarmind got a record. Let's do a whole show on that. Over and over and over again. So we gonna show y'all how to do it, right? Solar has agreed to come on and do a Hound session about his charges. That's right. The shuckle buckler will get shuckle bucked. He's brought his documents. He's brought transcripts. We have the charges. Instead of that Photoshop shit that Sonetta put up there. False accusations and false description of the charges that Nepal set up here in Express. They've been calling everybody a pedo except for the suspected pedo. And still to this day hasn't done a stream on it. Hasn't even pulled up the website describing the charges. Haven't given any details. So in order to get away from this distraction and back to the matter at hand, Solar's throwing himself up there transparently. So there'll be no more question about any more things. Because I go into other people's chats as the argument league. And I went into a certain chat today, right? And this has nothing to do with Solarmind. I went into somebody chat and they saw the argument league and they was like, that's the pedo league. So motherfuckers is just that retarded. They really want people to be evil, wicked. Because it justifies their actions. They want you to believe that motherfuckers is sick. And we're hiding skeletons in our closets. And touching kids. And beating on our girls. And using cocaine. And behind on our child support. We're just the worst people in the world. And that's why we're on YouTube with our cameras on. And not in a fucking chat with a different avatar every channel. With mysterious names and shit. Feather Blower. Silent Rock. The God, Devil, Messiah, Savior. Oh. Nope. So yeah. Sonetta put Brother James. Solarmind. He put him out there. He put him out there. And drug some really horrible things on his name. Saying he exposed himself to a little girl. Jacked off in front of the little girl. The pa calling him a pedo. This is what they've been saying. I know Solar doesn't need this, but see, Solar's one of them dudes that's just like that. He's not like water. He doesn't necessarily take the easiest path of less resistance. See? When you take the easiest path of less resistance, you end up at the bottom of the hill with everybody else who took the easiest path of less resistance. But when you're willing to fight to go through the cracks, over the rocks, through the unbeaten trail, when you make it to the end, it's kind of exclusive. There's a certain group of people that's there, just not the common fella and lady that just wake up, don't wash their ass, and go to work and fix your burgers. It's people who build things, create things, have visions, commitment, willing to invest and follow through, willing to broaden it. See? We're still growing. We're evolving with the times. We're not trying to stagnate the people to make us feel comfortable. We see where things are going. We're willing to go. So yes, Solar has chosen to do a Hound session right here on the Argument League. Shout out to him for that. Shout out to him for that. So, other than that, the stream, your link is pinned. Anybody want to come on, hit the link, man. Hope everybody having a blessed day, a good day, man, with their family. I want to send strength to anybody going through anything. Condolences to anybody who lost anybody. And just encouragement to us all, because I know we need it. Y'all, we need it. We definitely need it. Oh shit. So early in the building, the commissioner Solarmind Ash mobbed up and hit the link. Shout out to you, big dog. DJ Black Charm in the building. Twin Man 35 in the building. Investing out the blue in the building. The commissioner Solarmind. Ash mobbed up and hit the link. Shout out to you, big dog. DJ Black Charm in the building. As he get his audio ready. Investing out the blue in the building. And everything. Yeah, big dog. I gotta mute you solo while you get that straight. And then you can unmute when you're ready. Yeah, Blue, what's good to you? Green 101. Devanya, what's good? DJ Black Charm holding it down on this side of town for people that's brown. Of course, Twin Man 35 with that insidious laugh.
Another day, man.
That unique laugh. Yeah, that's what's up, man. Shout out to you, man.
Gang, man, right now.
Gang.
Outnumbered 3-1, man.
Peak my bad, Blue. We need the debate start. I'm tired of hearing about that bullshit. I want to see what's on y'all nigga mind, man.
Oh, yeah, don't get it twisted, man. September 6th.
Go ahead. Win, Swab.
September 6th is the beginning of season 4. We're having a double header. 6 o'clock, Swab Boss versus Akmalak. Swab Boss versus Akmalak in the conversation of our mixed people, Black.
Yeah.
We coming right back.
Yeah.
Coming right back to the double header at 9 o'clock. Taz and T-Duck on the conversation is the conscious community a detriment to Black consciousness? So we're going to see what's up. The commissioner looks like he has his equipment together. You there, big bro?
Yeah. What's good? What's going on, people?
All right. Your mic sounds nice. That's what's up. Shout out to you. And, of course, the champ is in the building. Hey, nah. Shout out to him.
Shout out to you, King. Shout out to you.
Corporal. Right?
Corporal.
Yeah, Corporal. He ain't private no more. He won a championship. He Corporal.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. He said he going for captain.
I gotta meet you up.
What's out the cap? Now he said he going for general. Ain't none this shit. Fuck that. Duke 2P. He told me that the other day. Boy. He said he going crazy. He said ain't nothing gonna stop him from bringing the flavor this year.
That's the goal.
See what I'm saying? There you go. He doubled down on it.
Yeah, oh baby, it's cool, Twin Man. We kind of gonna keep this exclusive to the peers anyway. You know what I'm saying? So just give us a second, man, and then we'll open up to the general public because we fucks with y'all like that. Your Hookadon is in the building, man. The baby voice killer.
My name is Solarmind Killer tonight.
Let me debate. Let me judge all the subpar debaters. Since all the top debaters called you and told you they don't want me to judge them, let me judge all the subpar debates. How about that? All the subpar debates, all the newcomers. I judge their debates. Since all the seasoned folk feel like it's a conspiracy that it's some bias.
That'd be a whole nother can of worms right there, brother.
No, nobody want DJ Black Charm judging the debate.
I see a complaint about to happen already. With that.
Hey, yeah, that's it. So we had I figure a few debaters, more peers is gonna jump on. So that's it. Okay, he said before I come up there and get y'all to it, shout out to Taz Exclusives, man. The Rook, the GOAT in the building. So yeah, let's get to it. We got Solarmind in the building, man. We got accusations, but we have paperwork. So this will be an honest build, right?
Yeah.
This is not scripted, right? This is not, manufactured or produced in any way. We haven't created any papers or nothing like that. Nobody has any lines, man. Y'all be able to tell this is organic. We're calling it a shucklebuck, a hound session. That's what we can get to the matter at point so that we can get off this distraction and back on polite side. Because they're definitely going to use anything they can as a distraction.
That's right.
but we in y'all. We got y'all back though. We got y'all back. So, Blue is here. Yahukanon here. A9 here. And I'm here. Anybody would like to start it off? Anything that y'all would like to ask?
I
Sony,
think
would
it
you like
probably
to
would be
start
good if
off?
I
Yeah, I'm about to say if you start off just breaking everything down. If you
yeah.
tell your side of
Yeah,
things,
that's what I was gonna say. Let's let him go ahead and get started.
man, let's get a mic to you. Everybody
Hey
open
man,
your
how many people
ears.
we got in the building? How many people we got in the building right now?
We got 50 at this point.
Somebody go tell somebody. Somebody go tell somebody to go tell somebody. Cause I'm gonna
Yeah,
let y'all
everybody
know
go
this.
tell two people.
After we do this it. I don't want to hear nothing else. This it. Right? And then we after everybody else. But we're gonna be transparent tonight. Let's go.
Yeah, well, as which y'all already know, from the allegations that has been surfacing on YouTube, is a lot of things that have been suggested about Solarmind pertaining to certain things that was done in the past. A lot of the charges was manipulated. We're going to deal with that today. And we also know that it's a very important issue in light of what's going on overall with the situation with Polite. So as what A9 and others already said countless times on this platform, it was serving as a distraction to dealing with what's going on here and now. So my record was brought up that it's something that occurred 17 years ago. I was in my 20s at the time. So I'm gonna deal with the situation, and I'm gonna allow them to come and ask me any question that they want. We actually I went up today to the courthouse, and I didn't want to make a statement until I actually have the court files, because I'm not going to be manipulating the charges. I'm actually get to what was said by both parties, because according to what is being said and the rumors that is being spread around me, being spread about me on social media, is that I exposed myself to a minor, that pull my penis out to a minor, and all different types of stuff that was said about me. So I'm gonna lay down what actually happened, which is still a crazy story. And from there, we're going to move on. We're going to begin to go back into debating. We're going to get back on Polite's ass, as what these brothers already were saying. So, that's the purpose of this stream. Once again, I think that, when you're dealing with this issue in itself is a very serious issue. And I think the weaponizing of it is taking away the credibility of the individuals presenting the information. I think that in these type of situations, we should be very transparent and honest, and forthcoming about the things that transpired, because this is a very, very serious issue that plagues our community today. So, with that being said, 17 years ago, it was a situation that occurred with my sister's ex-husband. Now they were in the process of getting divorced, so they were separated for a while, and my brother came up. He just got out of the military. He came up to Philadelphia from North Carolina. So I believe that my sister felt as though that would be a good opportunity to get the rest of her things from the house that they were staying in. Her ex-husband was still staying at the house at the time. So when he got there, there was an issue because she was getting the rest of her things. I guess he seen the writing on the wall and that it was real. Maybe it was efforts to try to get her to stay. I'm not really clear on exactly as to what escalated the situation. It was also suggested that my brother had somebody with him in the car, that he was one of his friends from the military that he was actually dropping off in New Jersey. So it was assumed that my sister was with him or something to that degree, and it turned into an altercation. And eventually my brother stepped into the altercation. It turned into a fight. And a knife was brought out in the fight. And my brother-in-law at the time He tried to stab my brother in the neck. It skinned his neck, and it hit him in his arm. So that was an issue at the time. I was in Florida, and I think my mom initially told me about the situation, and so I called my sister, and she confirmed the situation, and called my brother. And so when I got back up there, I called him. When I get back up there, and I really like to hide, not hide, but just I move forward from my past. And when you see me on social media today, you have an image of me. I wasn't that individual then, so he knew how I get down. He knew, I gets busy. He knows that. So he knew that when I was coming up there was going to be something that he's going to have to deal with. So when I got up there, I was looking for him for maybe about a week and a half. I was looking for him. So I went to his then grandmother's house, and his kids stayed there, and it was his daughter and his son was there when I got there. And so I went into the house. I was looking for him. He wasn't in there. So I went outside and I called him. And I said a lot of crazy things, a lot of things that eventually implicated myself. You got to remember, this situation changed my life. This is a very serious issue. And so the decision that I made, which was a very bad decision, which was I called, and I made a lot of threats to his children. I said some nasty things. Yes, it was sexual things that I said. I said some things that I was going to do, kill his son, and said a lot of crazy stuff. So he would call the police, and when I was outside, the police would pull up, and so I would be arrested. I gave my statement at the precinct, and eventually had to deal with it going forward in the trial. So this is me telling my side of the story. Now, according to what was said by the statement that they have on the record, his daughter says that what actually happened was I came into the house. She was doing the dishes. She said that I grabbed her buttocks and I was grinding on her. This is what she said. She said that she ran out the house. She said that I ran after her. And then she said that she turned around and, matter of fact, let me get the actual report. She said that I chased her out the house. She turned around and she went back in the house. And she locked the door. She said that I tried to open the door, according to the police report. And this is all what this is right here. This is the report that this is her statement that she made. This is the statement that was actually made here. So, so she said she came back in the house and then she locked the door. She said that she would then call the police, and eventually they would find me on the steps and I would be arrested. So those were the two sides of the story. This would actually go to trial. In the preliminary hearing, they began to so I want to say this. This is where all the charges come from. So the charges of indecent assault, the indecent assault charge would be me allegedly grinding on her, as what she said in the statement. And the grabbing of the buttocks would be the corruption of the minor, and so the false imprisonment will be well, I really don't know what exactly the implications, because she said she ran out the house. So those would be the charges. In the preliminary hearing, she was questioned by the judge, and as she began to state her case, as what was stated in this document, the judge began to ask her questions about the statements that she made. I think that the story began to fall apart when the judge asked her, well, if he grabbed your buttocks, if he grinded on you and you were running out the house, how did you get back in the house? So she said that she turned around and went back in the house. So the judge said, well, did you go past him? Did you turn around and go past him? She said, yes, I turned around and went past him. Then she asked him, the judge asked her, well, were you afraid of him? And at first she said, yeah. And then he was like, well, why would you turn around and walk towards him if you were afraid of him? And then, we turned to a back and forth. It was interrogating, and it was like, putting pressure on her. And then she said in a statement, well, really, he was coming after my father. She said something along those lines. And so after both people made these statements in the court, all those charges was dropped, except for the simple assault. So the indecent assault, the reckless endangerment, the simple assault, the corruption of the minors, all those charges was dropped as a result of, the preliminary hearing. I went to court, the follow-up, to challenge the simple assault charge. And I believe that the judge that actually posted my bail, he was the judge then, and for I don't know what type of rules that they have pertaining to the that, but he was unable, because he was about to throw even the simple assault charge out. But I guess it's some type of rule that they have, whereas though the person that posted the bail can't be the one to actually deal with the case, so they had to postpone it. At the time, I had a public defender. And eventually I would just take the simple assault charge, and that required a 2 years probation. Never was a sex offender, never had to take no classes. So that was that situation. So in light of all the crazy things that was suggested in this document, from the grabbing of the buttocks and the allegedly grinding, it was never the things that was being suggested by Nepal, or Rob and Sinetta. They said that I pulled my penis out in front of a minor. They said that I pulled my penis out in front of a minor. They said I was exposing myself in front of minors. She didn't even say that. She didn't even say that. Even according to the document, she didn't even say that. So all that stuff was made up. And like I said, this case got thrown out. Most of the charges, all the charges involving the minor, was thrown out after both people made these statements. And then people look at the withdrawal, say, well, withdrawal, just because you withdraw doesn't mean that you was not guilty, just because the cases was withdrawn doesn't mean that you were found not guilty. There's two ways that can happen. One is lack of evidence. That could go either way. It could be lack of evidence because you're found innocent. It could be lack of evidence because you hid the evidence. Or the person don't show up to court. These are the two ways that a thing could get withdrawn and a person still, actually did the crime and it still get withdrawn. The evidence was the actual individual. She actually made the statements as to what I did that day. She showed up to court. So she showed up to court and she was the evidence. So the withdrawn was because the story didn't make sense according to the judges and the prosecutors So they felt as though that it would be the best thing to drop those charges. So that was that situation. I guess I could open the floor for any questions. If anybody want to ask me any questions pertaining to the case, feel free to do so.
All right. My first question that I want to ask off top is the statement. She was the only witness to this event.
Well, this is the only statement that was released. I don't think I ever read this statement before. So it was a younger brother there at the time as well. I don't know if he had a statement, but this is all that was pulled up. I actually made a statement as well that is not on here. They didn't even put my statement as to what happened on here. So it's only her statement that was found on the court records.
Okay. And like you said, this was 17 years ago. Is it because I can imagine the way you tell it, you know, you were outside, you were on the phone, and you're sitting here waiting on this dude. After threatening him, you thought he was going to pull up. And then the police pulls up and they arrest you. When was the first time you heard about the groping charges and stuff like that? Was it told to you that actual day?
Yeah, but it was told to me. I guess they was trying to actually not reveal to me her statement. So they was just asking me what happened. The police was asking me what happened, and they wanted to get my side of the story. I don't think that they wanted to reveal to me exactly what she was saying. So it really wasn't until when I got home that my sister, she was saying, "Well, did you grab her?" And I was like, "No, I didn't grab her." And then it was my mother and my brother. They actually said, like, "Yo, she's saying that she was like grinding on her and you grabbed her butt and shit." So I'm like, "Nah, I ain't do none of that shit." So it wasn't really until they actually told me, you know. And then so yeah, that's how I really found out exactly what she was saying. That was through my side of the family.
Okay, and then like I guess like the elephant in the room, because this would actually be the whole gist of the case. From your side were the threats made on the phone to the kids. That's the heavy part.
Yeah.
And I know you're not proud of it. And I could tell the way you're talking about it, you don't even really want to vocalize that shit. You know what I'm saying? It's like I see you trying to be transparent, but it to me, honestly, everybody got their own opinion, but it seems like you kind of embarrassed about that.
Oh, definitely. The whole situation now, looking back on it. I mean, really, that situation changed my life. Like far as the charges, employment, what I was trying to do. I was trying to go to college. A lot of stuff that I was trying to do that got thwarted. Even though the charges was dropped, as what they're doing now, you can see that on the record. You know what I'm saying? So this is like a very thing, you know, that is being rehashed now. And it's being weaponized. So really, I'm looking at it from a lot of perspectives. You know, there's really nothing that they can do that this didn't do worse in my real life. You know what I'm saying? So it's you know, very embarrassed about the situation. And even with all the charges, when it was showing my whole jacket, embarrassed about all the charges, even the stuff that people glorify, you know, the stuff shooting at people and pistol whipping. Y'all see how I conduct myself here on Solar Vision Debate League, and I don't even conduct myself like that. I don't want people to know that about me. I'm very ashamed about that aspect of my life, you know. So tried to move forward from it. You know, I'm an older man now, and I'm willing to, you know, face it. I'm willing to stand in the fire about the things that I did do, and those things. It was wrong what I did. Either way, that was wrong for me to do that. You know, so that mistake that I made, you know, I paid for it. Make no doubt about it. I paid for that mistake.
Mm-hmm. And there was no classes.
No, there was no classes on that charge. No, there was no classes.
That's crazy as fuck. And there was no sex offender registry. It wasn't. It never even.
Nah, it wasn't no sex offender registry. There was no classes. Yeah, you know. So 2 years probation.
The floor is open. Anybody else want to ask a question?
Yeah, I want to ask a couple of.
Was
like,
there any
when the police pulled up? When the police pulled up, was it any type of confrontation? Wasn't no confrontation when the police pulled up?
Well,
I mean, like, was it like coming, sir, and then she came in, everybody was calm, and like the neighbors, it wasn't no fiasco about the situation.
Well, she never came outside. The cops pulled up. It wasn't like they had the sirens on. So the cops.
So it was a whole silent. It was silent.
Yeah, the cops just pulled up, and I'm looking at the cop car, and it wasn't until like it got like maybe a couple of houses down that I'm like, is they about to? And then that's when it hit me. I'm like, oh shit. So I couldn't do nothing at that time. Like it was just like I'm thinking that it's just gonna ride up the block and keep going, but it was like I'm like, oh, they're slowing down and shit. So I'm like, and yeah. So he got out the car. So I'm like, yeah, like what's up? You know. So he told me to come in, and you know.
And when y'all went to court, they didn't have none of the neighbors there. Well, any other neighbors there? Like when y'all went to court, like the people that like how the detectives try to go see who else heard it or seen it and shit like that, and stuff like that. They ain't have no neighbors there when
I'm not sure if any neighbors. I didn't see it. But in that time, from what I can remember, I don't think it was nobody outside. Then I think that was in the early afternoon, maybe like around 12 or something like that. But yeah, I don't think that it was anybody that made statements. According to my recollection, I was trying to look up all the documents to see who all made statements. This was the only statement that actually came up. So,
and the dude didn't want to get at you, like say for instance,
let's keep the question.
You come looking for me, and then you harm my child. The dude didn't try to get back at you, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, nigga, you hanging around my house, nigga. You know what I'm saying? The dude didn't try to get like fuck the police and all that shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting at your ass now, bro. Like, I'm back at your ass because you came to my house.
Well, I believe
escalate to that level.
I believe that it was statements made, but not to be on some crazy, but he knew like I had a reputation.
Oh, okay.
You see my charges, like he really did not want that, and so it was other people like in the family, in his family that's think that they can see me. It was they made statements, but nobody never came to me.
So and y'all, everybody, you were young with them. So did it just like in your neighborhood? Is it all done with now? Or niggas still trying to get at you about that shit?
You talking about today?
Yeah, today, in today's time, like folk grown, they older now, or whatever. They feel like you shouldn't have beat up their uncle or cousin or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
No, it wasn't. Remember? Yeah, that was like 17 years ago. So, at the time, like my nephew was in the other room. He was a baby at the time. So all these individuals now grown now. Was in.
Did you have any weapons on you?
Yeah.
Okay.
It wasn't no gun or nothing like that, but
Okay, any other questions, Blue?
Oh, my bad. Well, Blue good.
Yeah.
May I go after Blue?
Yeah, I was just gonna ask. Did you have any physical contact at any point with his daughter?
Nah.
All right. Yeah, that's it.
I actually, when they was interrogating her in the courtroom, and I was like, yeah, shouldn't it be like some type of evidence if the statements was made, like some type of fingerprints or some type of shit that you could actually pull up, and they just to shut me up, because when she made the statement, I'm like,
Now, my question is, how old was this girl?
At the time, she was 14.
14. So my question would be, why would a girl 14 make up a story of you, I guess, grabbing her buttocks or grinding on her?
I really don't know exactly the reason why, but according to the case, she said that she knew that I was coming to see her father. She knew that I was coming to see her father. And so according to the statements that was made, I can only say that I believe that she lied about it because of what I may do to her father.
Now, well, I would say this. Did she overhear the conversation with you and her father on the phone?
I'm not sure. That could be the reason why she locked the door. And I was saying, like, either that or he called her and told her to lock the door.
Now, this was 17 years ago, so your memory could be very vague. So you might not remember every detail. Now, is it possible that maybe you made some kind of threats of doing maybe some illicit things to his children? And maybe
I did make those threats.
So now?
I did make those threats.
So you did make illicit threats?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, is it possible that maybe she's got that idea from, maybe she overheard the threats that you were making?
Yeah, that's possible. That's possible that she heard. Like I said, she may have locked the door because she heard what I was saying, or that he may have called her and told her to lock the door.
Yeah, that man, he said he was gonna do such and such. Motherfuckers get scared, especially when
I'm gonna go ahead and let somebody else
teenager.
have some time. I need to hear some more questions.
My shit messing up.
My bad. Go ahead. Who else want to answer?
What's up, y'all? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, big dog. A9 is in the building. Y'all right into the building. Taz is now in the building. A9, go ahead.
Yeah, peace to the panel. Shout out to you, Suave. Peace to you, Solarmind. Hey man, it's a Hound session, so I don't know what the fuck y'all doing.
Yeah, ain't nobody trying to hear that chopping it up shit, man. So since nobody in there, I get it. So here's my question.
I think A9 just tried to go in.
Oh, go ahead, Brian. Go ahead.
Taz ready to go, and they should be.
Go ahead, fam.
Yeah, I ain't trying to hear. Like, I'm gonna be honest, but I ain't trying to hear none of that shit. So first off, so the allegation is that you a pedo, right? Right. So they saying you a pedo. So my question is, what makes me think you not a pedo if you in the house with a 14-year-old? Mm-hmm. Why you in there? Why you in that situation, bro?
Like I said, when I went in there, I was looking for a father. So yeah.
So
that's why I was in the house.
So you kicked in the door? Like you pulled up, just kicked in the door, goon man?
No. I actually knocked on the door and she let me in.
So you just so she let you in, you come in, you look around, you go outside, like what's happening? You grab her, you take her, you yell her, what you do to her?
When I came in, I said, first it was, speaking, what's up, and then I was like, yeah, where your father at? And then she seen what I had some brass knuckles. She looked down and she seen my hand, and then she was like, she didn't say nothing. And then I walked, I was looking, I went upstairs, I looked, went downstairs, and then I asked again, where your father at? She didn't say nothing. And so then I went outside, yeah.
So you just walked in, walked outside?
Yeah, like I said, when I went in, I asked her where her father was at. And then I looked to see because she didn't say nothing. And I went through the house to see where he was at or if he was in there. And when he wasn't in there, that's when I went outside.
And so when the police show up, where they take y'all? They take y'all down to the unit. They like what they do, some type of like victim, what they do?
Yeah, the police pulled up very casually. He just like kind of pulled up. So it was nothing that I could do. As he was pulling up, I just kind of slid the brass knuckles into the trash can. So he pulls up and he's like, yeah, like he was like, yeah, what you doing out here? And I'm like, yeah, nothing. I'm just waiting on somebody. And he's like, come here. And then he was like, yeah, so did you do something to anybody? You know, because I got a call. And so I'm like, no, I didn't do nothing to nobody. And he said, we're gonna have to take you down to the precinct, ask you some questions because being accused of something, you know. So he handcuffed me and he puts me into the back of the car and he takes me down to the police station.
And how long was you there before the police showed up?
I could say roughly maybe 15, 20 minutes.
And how much of that time was you out inside and how much of that time was you outside?
I was in and out of the house, you know, so I could say that maybe a total of maybe 4 to 5 minutes that I went, you know, looking through the house. And you know, so I was sitting outside the rest of the time.
And so when she decided to close the door, that was it. You ain't tried to get back in. You ain't do nothing.
Yeah, I tried to come back. I tried to get back in, but the door was locked.
So when you say you was in and out, how many times did you go in?
That one time I was able to get in when they let me in.
So when you say in and out, like you mean you went in and came out?
Yeah, I went in, I went through the house, and then I was out.
Oh, okay.
And then so when they get you down, they book you, they do all of this. Like Suave asked, like at what time do you figure out that this is what's said about you?
Like I said, it wasn't really till I got back to my family and they began to ask me questions. My sister wasn't really that transparent. She was just saying, like, did you grab her or something? Like, did you grab her? And then it was my brother that was like, yeah, she trying to say you grabbed the butt, bro. He was grinding on it. My mom was saying the same thing. You know.
Did the police ask you any sexual questions pertaining to that?
No, from what I could remember, the detective, he asked me just what was my side of the story. You know, he just got a statement for me to state my side of the story. He didn't really reveal exactly what was going on in the totality or even her statements.
And so what's going on with you where you think it's okay to go in there and you was gonna beat that man up and do all of that right in front of that little girl?
Yeah. I mean, it sounds crazy. I know it sounds crazy. But if they was, yeah. I mean, yeah.
And so at that time, you didn't care. You just wanted action.
Yeah. Yeah.
So how we know that you was thinking clear enough where you didn't do nothing to that little girl?
Well, I mean, that's for you to decide, you know. Like I said, I read you her side of the story. I stated my side of the story. And this is the whole purpose of doing this stream. And I think that this stream, you know, is really giving everybody the opportunity to kind of look at the situation as it happened. Both of the statements that, you know, both sides of the story was relayed. And so this is the actual stream that actually you could really make a decision as to what you feel is going to happen.
All right, then hold on, I ain't through. So then we read, or what we heard was that you had sex offender classes, and you weren't able to see your niece and your nephew. That's how they posted it. What's up with that?
Well, no, in that case, that was 10 years later with the indecent exposure. That had nothing to do with this particular case here. This particular case here. The charges got dropped, like I said, in the preliminary hearing, and I just had 2 years of probation. That was what the situation was.
So you had another incident. So you had the indecent exposure. So that's the one everybody said you run around showing your stuff to little kids, right?
Well, yeah, when you actually look at the case, it wasn't no kids involved in that situation.
What was involved with that situation?
That situation was me being in a public place. And to be frank, had, my penis out. Somebody was performing a sexual act on me. It was seen by an individual. They would call security. Security would come. I think it was almost simultaneously that, the individual was giving me fellatio. She kind of popped up at the same time. My dick is out. Security like, yo, come here. And I don't know if he was saying it to both of us or just me. And I was just like, yeah, it's all me. Like, it's all me. She had more to lose than I did. And so I sat on that. But those were all adults in that situation.
So then why they wouldn't let you around kids?
Well, the stipulation was that it was a person had to be there when my niece and nephew there. I don't know exactly why they had that there, but yeah, that was the stipulation that if I was to visit my nieces and nephews, that it had to be somebody there. That was just one of the stipulations for the sex crime, So yeah.
But this was with an adult or was with a minor?
No, that was with an adult. Yeah, that was with an adult.
And just to interject, when you had the case with the dude and the girl, you were able to be around kids after that, right?
Yeah. It was really
okay.
Go ahead. Something ain't adding up, fam. Because I'm told, and I'm seeing the way they put this shit up, that the assault case from 2005 is what ended up getting you in the situation with not being able to be around kids.
Nah. I think that it was the situation in itself. I'm not sure exactly if they do that to everybody. Or that maybe the 2005 when they looked at the jacket may have an impact. But that's just was one of the stipulations.
And so where was you at when you was getting your fellatio?
I was in library.
What, just out there on holiday?
Huh?
You was just out there all in the open? Like, what you mean?
Well, they have like these kind of cubicles, and at the end is like a room. I was in one of the rooms. So it's like a cubicle, it's a lot of cubicles, and at the end, like the room is facing the cubicles. So the window to the room, you can see right into the room.
And so, okay, so you go through that. So now, so you get this charge or whatever.
Kind of hit a week.
And so they gave you 2 years of probation on that. And so what they made you register? You was in the sex registry then, right?
You said sex registry?
You was in a sex offender registry then, right?
No, I never was a registered sex offender, never.
Nah, nigga. Like so the way niggas is painting this shit out to be, you the pedo, nigga.
That's how they paint it.
Well, it's an easy way that you can find since my name. Since my name is out there, only thing you gotta do is type it into the sex offender. I think they gotta, put they picture in every certain amount of time, every 6 months or something like that, and that they gotta renew their picture so you can see how they're looking currently. And just type my name in there.
And several people, I gotta say this, several people has checked Solar. The name that we're getting, that has never been in the sex registry.
Okay. So I'm gonna ask these last couple questions, then I'm gonna come back if I'm gonna leave some more meat on the bone for everybody else. So first offense, would you say you got into it with your brother-in-law, right?
Now, what you say?
The first offense, the assault offense in 2005, you got into it with your brother-in-law, right?
That is correct.
And so then you go over there, you looking for gooned out, you scared of it.
Are you breaking up a little bit, brother?
Am I back?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So you show up, you go over there, you gooned out, you go kicking the door. So y'all go to court, and she just decided, you know what?
Come on, nigga. You say she's decided what?
Hey, mute out.
My bad.
So she basically how did this work out?
No, I didn't hear all of your question. You said
I said so you go to court, she recants the story, she can call line, like how that work out?
Well, like I said, when they was asking the questions, I guess the judge felt as though that the story didn't really make sense in line of what happened. So I think that the story began to fall apart when as was said in the statement, she turned around and went back in the house if I was chasing her, and he started asking some questions that she really couldn't really answer. You know, it was like, well, were you afraid of him? And at first she said, yeah. And then it was like, well, why did you turn around and begin to walk back towards him, you know, to get back in the house? And so, you know, the story began to fall apart at that point.
And so you got these two separate incidents. That's all you got? You got more? What, you got more paperwork?
Well, you know, I mean, they showed my whole jacket. So, you know,
I see that assaults.
Yeah, that incident, I have assault with
and I want to make it clear, right? We're here to clear him of pedophilia. We're not here to shame him for all the things that he's already served time for that were non-sexual acts.
Right?
This is about the children and finding out if Solar was a pedophile and had sexual dealings with a child. So if he got caught crossing the street, we're not questioning about jaywalking. You know what I'm saying? Because that's he served his, what's the name for that? So go ahead.
Yeah, well, you know, to answer his question, you know, pistol whip somebody. I pistol whip, you know, beat people up and shot at people.
All right. I'm gonna leave some for everybody else. I'll be back.
Shout out to A9. Anybody else has a line of questioning? Taz, you ready, big guy?
Right. So I mean, for real, I just got one question, and we'll go from there. For real, like, you know, all this shit is in your motherfucking background, and you ain't say shit. Now, when niggas like me come and I'm fucking with you, my motherfucking reputation on the line. You know what I'm saying? So why didn't you tell nobody none of this shit? Why ain't this shit out in the open so niggas will know?
I was ashamed of that, you know. It was embarrassing. Yeah, I agree that in terms of when everything began to hit the fan, I did make it my opportunity to relate it to a couple people when I kind of seen the writing on the wall. But you know, in terms of, you know, just being transparent right from the open, like soon as I went on YouTube, yeah, I was ashamed of those charges. You know, like I said, those charges had an impact on my life, and those were serious charges. And I was trying to move forward from that. You know, even me going to the court, I had to literally relive that. You know, relive the whole situation, reading the documents, looking at the charges and the whole nine. So, yeah, you know, that was irresponsible on my part in terms of, like you said, you know, how, you know, everybody is in a league that I'm, you know, the head of or the commissioner of. And I think that is it should have been my responsibility to be transparent, especially when, you know, this back and forth thing was going on. And then I didn't know because it was calls that was made to me by individuals such as Sinetta. He was calling other people that was in my circle saying that he had my jacket. So I should have said something then. You know, I only told certain people, you know, certain people that was in the circle, I related to them actually before everything came out. But definitely it was more time that I should have done it when it was being suggested. I think that it was first suggested when I did the first interview over on Taharka Bay channel. So I should have, looking at it in hindsight, I should have just went forward and brought those things out right then, you know. So you're absolutely correct. You know, that was kind of an irresponsible move for me to remain silent in light of all you guys' reputations and how you guys are viewed and what y'all promote. Because we all did shows talking about, you know, pedophilia and things of that nature, and it was it's definitely you know, my responsibility to be more to have been more transparent in light of the allegations that was being suggested about me.
And I'm gonna say this, man. I took a look at it, and so I respect the fact that you was willing to be transparent and let the rest of it come out, have a real discussion about it. I mean, that's really what I wanted to know. I don't care about no pistol whipping and the old Solar that was out here whooping shit and all of that, nigga. I just want to know about the kids and what the fuck this reference is that they trying to shoot back to, because I know what they trying to do. They try to do it to me. So, you know what I'm saying? I appreciate you coming on, you know what I'm saying, and clearing that shit up. It is look, and if nobody else knows what you do,
Breaking up a little bit.
You breaking up a little bit.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you now.
Okay, you stable now. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So now I was saying that if anybody knows about the embarrassment behind some of that shit is me. What it was, I just said it one day, and so I just had to do it. And then my name was on here. I originally came on with my real name. So I, you know what I'm saying, I had to stand in my shit from the beginning coming on YouTube, and it felt better when people started looking it up and trying to make it, you know what I'm saying, like they had something on me, not knowing that the original people that was around know I already spoke on that. And so that was really my only question, because that it's imperative that people know that type shit, because somebody gonna try to use it against you, because somebody try to throw you under the bus. They act like white men here, bro. They act white men, and they act like they don't understand that COINTELPRO type content we talk about, where they throw some heavy ass charges, nigga, but then throw all that shit out and finish it off with small. None of them heavy charges even stuck. It just was thrown on your record for it to look bad on the surface. I know that, but I know that feeling of embarrassment when somebody look at you and say, damn, you sold beer to a minor? You had them minors? Nigga, I know how that feel. And I ain't did a motherfucking thing like that. And it's still there like, damn, bro, I got to explain this shit again. Fuck. So I feel you, bro. I feel you. And I got you. And like I say, man, that was my only question. Do your thing, bro. I don't appreciate this motherfucking slander and shit. And I appreciate you coming out, bro.
Yeah, and I think that it's our responsibility to actually have a real conversation about this. This is nothing to be played with. This is nothing to be weaponized. This is nothing to be talked about because I don't like the individual. This is like a serious issue, and this, like I said, on many levels. You know, the actual allegations is very serious allegations, and the impact, once again, like I said, had on my life. It's changed my life. It's like real situation, and this is nothing to be played with on all levels. You know, so I think that it turned into a circus. You know, people out of, you know, whatever thing that they had with me, try to use it to, I guess, to destroy my image. So they tried to make the charges as
well,
worse.
It's new information, though. I mean, it's new information. Anything they can present as new and dirt, you know what I'm saying? That's why I said, you know, you got to get out ahead of shit like this. And since you didn't early on, it would hurt you anytime in the middle of it to get into it because you've already built the name. People know who you are. And so now once people start talking about it, it's automatically, damn, for real, it's going to be a negative context to it. And it still will be people trying, but you've got to clear your name. And I'm glad you came and did it because now I can ride right there in the front seat with you, nigga. I'm there.
No doubt.
All right, appreciate you, Taz. Yara has come off mute. Go ahead, big dog. The floor is yours. We cannot hear you. Okay, I think Yara having technical difficulties. Everybody hit the like button out there, please. And I want to be specific. Accusing people of pedophilia who hasn't done those acts is not protecting the children. It's not. So I understand the need for people to act like they're super concerned and the upstanding citizen and this has been high on their priority list. But let's keep it real, it hasn't for a lot of you. You know, this is trending. It's popular right now. And you're in the now. Enjoy the ride. I don't want to take that away from you. But just know that you do add to the numbers of people who have an agenda past probably your conception. You know? So let's try to utilize this moment of transparency, hold other people to that standard, and know what it takes to be able to come forth to even have somebody go through this again. Y'all right, you there, big dog? He went back on mute. Yeah, hit that like button, please. So, like I said, I don't really got, you know, that was my only grief. That was the hardest thing. Okay, there you go. To get in. So shout out to the panel. Unseen Soldier has hit the panel. I don't know if you on this, but we're gonna Yara right quick. Go ahead, Yara.
Yeah, peace, family, peace. Shout out to people in the chat. Solarmind, do you have any children of your own, biological children?
No, I don't.
Okay. So with that, why should we think you actually understand during that time, how be it your age, from that time until now, that you can actually sympathize with the 14-year-old victim in your case? Because according to what we understand, the police report, and everything that was going forward, that she is a victim. And let me say this. I don't know if it's been said before on this panel. We're not victim shaming here, right? The young lady had her side of the story. Obviously, Solarmind has a different side of his story in that particular case. And from what we understood, that particular part of the case, especially in regards to the indecent assault charge, was withdrawn. We know that you went before a court of law. We know that it was adjudicated properly. And out of that one charge, it was determined that you simply there was a simple assault. And when it says simple assault, we're not saying that charge isn't serious, because it definitely is serious. Assault is assault. It is an act of violence. Let's be clear about that, family. That's an act of violence. And understanding that this is a 14-year-old child, male or female, doesn't really matter. But the fact that this is a violent act perpetrated against a child, that's something that I know that myself, having 4 daughters and raised 4 daughters on my own, that's something that I would have come after you personally for. That's something that I don't look past. So again, my question to you is that understanding that it was some time ago when these charges were levied against you, what has going on in your life since that time until now that we would have the understanding of that you would be able to tell us why you can sympathize with the victim involved? Like, how have you grown? Like, how can we actually stand with you in the terms of what you're saying, that you made a mistake. Yeah, we know you made a mistake. The court know you made a mistake. Different things like that. But how can we stand with you, trusting that you actually understand the ramifications of the charges that were levied against you and against the minor at that particular time? How can we stand with you about that? Especially, and I'm talking as a parent to someone who's not a parent.
Mm-hmm.
May I answer?
How can we stand with you with that?
1 second, please.
Well, one, my personal relationships, although I don't have a biological child, but I was in a relationship where I met, the female while the baby was around maybe 6 months, and we was in a relationship for close to 14 years. Still in contact with the young man. So I did have the opportunity to raise a young man. My nephew's currently right now in another room with his son. So I do know the severity of the situation. I took it upon myself also when I was doing the ITBM2 channel to bring on sex victims that was actually abused. Had a couple of sisters come on and actually give their story as to what their experiences was and how they had an impact on their life. So definitely I'm very cognizant of the ramifications of serious crimes as what I was charged with, and even more serious crimes, especially inflicted on females. So once again, that's a very serious issue, and that's nothing to be taken lightly. But as what you said, that's as far as I could go with it, because like you said, I never had a biological child. So I know it's levels to this. And far as, from that aspect, so I don't know really what to say at that point, because I never experienced that, So that's all I can say as far as my answer is,
All right. One more next question. Since that particular incident that you received a simple assault charge on, have you had any other incidents in which the law was contacted or not contacted involving you and minors in a sexual aggressive nature, or just a physical nature, whether it was a male child or a female child?
No.
Okay. My third question is, did you feel like you needed to come out and say something because you had something to lose? Because you were aware of these charges before anyone else brought them out.
Mm-hmm.
And if this is my understanding, that this is the first time you've talked about them. And I heard you say that you were ashamed of them. And so I get that. But to come out at this particular point in time and to say that, yeah, I had charges against me involving a minor at one point, this simple assault charge, it was not sexual in nature. And then I had another charge that was sexual in nature, but it was with an adult. What what is it what is it today in this moment right now that makes you feel like, other than getting ahead of the story or the things that came out, like really what is it today that made you come out and really want to say, you know, these things aren't true? Is it simply just to clear your name? Is it simply just to try to keep a brand you've built? Or is it simply just trying to keep pulling the wool over our eyes like we see many other people do? And I'm gonna say this, you know, we came on today, a lot of us, because we were just made aware of the details in this particular case, in that particular case, that one charge. So what is it today? And we felt it was necessary not to sit on this, because this is the same thing in this particular regard is when we were talking about anyone else. You know, once you find out something that is not favorable, or something that has to do with a sexual act towards our children, or possible violence towards our children, and you're affiliated with that person, once you become aware of those particular things, that those things should be addressed, and be addressed right away, and not be sat on, and give us as adults, as parents, as comrades, as people who don't like you, who still communicate with you, to make our own decision whether or not we should support you or support your brand and different things like that. So we felt it's necessary, and that's what we're asking the community, that these things should be addressed this particular way. Once you find something out, don't sit on it. Don't sit on it. Because I'm going to tell you, I have children. Right? I raised 4 daughters by myself. So if anybody thinks that we're not serious about this particular conversation, you're sadly mistaken. My first wife passed away of 18 years. I had to raise 4 teenage daughters by myself. Actually, one wasn't a teenager when she passed away. But I had 4 daughters that I raised for myself until I remarried again for a while. So the severity of this situation, I don't take lightly. I don't care if you threw a spitball at her. If you would have threw a spitball at my child, I would have been trying several different ways to fuck you up. That's where I'm at with it. And that's how I would have addressed it. Right? I wouldn't have called the police. I would have waited for your ass. I don't care how long it would have been. I would have waited for your ass. So what I'm saying is, a lot of people, they only expose things or bring things out when they feel like they have something to lose. What is it that you feel like you had to lose? And is that more important, you losing something, or the threat of losing something, or is it more important that we bring this issue and this topic out in regards to violence, not against children, but against women, our men, and just overall in our community, and how people protect children, and how people should protect our children. So, you know, so if you could understand the question that I'm asking, is it more, are you only here because you feel like you have something to lose, or do you generally have empathy and sympathy for victim of violence and sexual violence in our community, especially among children?
Yeah, to be honest, it's all of the above. All the things that you brought up is the reason why I'm here. The reason why I'm here is because there were certain allegations made on me. The reason why I'm here was that the way it was being expressed was in a very dishonest way. The reason why I'm here is because it was a very serious issue, an issue that all you guys, as with yourself, and how you express yourself just now, take very seriously. I'm here because as a man, I have to be responsible and fess up to the things that I've done in the past. But I want to be very transparent and honest and forthcoming about the situation. As what you said, along with Taz, yeah. Once I knew, that the allegations may come out, this should have been done a lot earlier, and even what I guess you're alluding to, maybe even before that. But like I said, very ashamed of those charges. Those charges were 17 years ago.
Let me ask you.
It had an impact on my life.
Let me ask you a question, Solar.
So
Yo, 1 second, please.
So yes, I definitely those are the reasons. All of what you said, and I think that this had to be done in a very adult, responsible manner. This is like not no plaything. Whereas though like we have a debate league. This ain't no thing about like like a debating and that. No, this is a very serious issue. This is real time stuff. This was my life. And like you said, yes, we need to take all those things seriously, and this is why we have to present it in a way that is responsible, in light of the all the allegations and all the charges that was made. So yeah, that's the reason why I'm doing this.
Appreciate you, big dog. Yara.
My very last question. Do you have an anger problem?
I will. Yeah, I had one, I believe. Yes.
So when you say had, is that something you worked out? How did you say you had one? So how do you put that in past tense? Like what steps did you take to say that you had a anger problem? Did you get any type of professional therapy? Did you go to any type of religious leader? Did you come up with what type of self-discipline did you put in place, or how did you approach dealing with your anger issue? Right? Because I know you're an Aries, I'm an Aries. A lot of people don't subscribe to that. So I know, I have I had a high temperament, and I could still get there at times. So I always have to think 3 times, before I respond to a situation in anger, and as a young child, I've had to go through therapy. Right? I've had to go through therapy to deal with my anger issue as a child. And so I understand what that is. So I'm asking you, what steps have you taken that you said you had an anger issue? How did you, how did you deal with that today? How did you deal with it, and how did you deal with stressful situations today? That you would exhibit signs of anger or violence.
Yeah, like you said, one of the main things is I like to suppress my initial reaction. I don't just react to some stuff. And even when you're looking at me, when I got into it with people here in the Solar Vision Debate League, you see that like at first I kind of tried to downplay the situation. I tried to, conduct myself in a way, but then, if it goes there, it goes there, but in terms of, the anger that results into like physical violence, it's a combination of things. Me growing from my mistakes, as I get older, seeing the severity of what you say and what you could do to people can have an impact on their lives. And looking at certain situations, stuff that I did as far as harming people and, things of that nature, is very serious, and also, discipline. A lot of discipline came from the Nation of Islam. Nation of Islam taught me to be very disciplined in how I conduct myself, and it kind of harps on your image and how you operate, on a day-to-day basis. That's one thing that is still there, and it's greatly appreciated as to my growth. Reading helped me see, things from a more in-depth perspective, a historical perspective, understanding my history and where my people came from, and from all different perspectives. You know, this all helped me, you know, grow as an individual.
I just want to ask you. Oh, my bad. I want to ask you a question. So,
All right, hey, hold on for a second, you know, man. I appreciate you coming on. This is difficult for anybody, you know, and I'll take, you know, and I'm just going to be honest. You know, a lot of people are going to take it with a grain of salt because they feel like, you know, if anything wasn't leveled against you in the last couple of hours, last couple of days, we may not would have ever had to have this conversation. Um, and I think that's something we all need to start to understand. Like, you know, especially for black men and black people, you know, we have to start talking about things that affect our community and how we grow from them. You know, I personally not sweeping it. You know, I don't think we're sweeping this under the rug. We're not doing this here. Um, and so we're not running away from it. But from what, you know, from what we understood and what we see, all biasness set apart. You know, some people say, well, y'all friends with Solarmind or y'all close with Solarmind. You know, when it comes to violence towards women and children, you know, you're automatically I consider an enemy because, you know, that's something that we have to not continue to do and allow in our community. But from the information that I've seen and from what we know, you know, I don't see you as a repeat offender. I don't see you as a sexual deviant. That's a different connotation. You know, ignorant people like to talk about, but it's actually a legal term, but it's a different connotation, and it brings about a different area. And from what we've seen and the evidence that we know that exists, you know, that's a slanderous statement. Pedophilia is a slanderous statement. It's a serious charge to lay upon someone. And I feel like anyone that uses that and try to weaponize it just to try to besmirch someone's character, and they have no evidence of that, and it's clearly a fabrication, then that brings I bring into question their mental health and actually how they actually care about victims of pedophilia and child molestation and those who've gone through child molestation. Something's wrong with you if you feel like that's an issue to weaponize. Something's clearly wrong with you. And you need to seek professional help. You need to seek spiritual guidance. And you need to get somewhere and have several seats, as some like to say. And that's all I want to say about that, brother.
All right, I want to ask you, was this dude beating on your sister?
Well, I'll tell the story. This was back when I was 19. I think I was 17 then. I was 17, and I just came back from South Carolina, me and my mother, and we were staying at the house. This was before they were married, and I came in one day, and my mom said that he hit my sister.
Mm-hmm.
So I went upstairs and to see what was going on, and he says he was drunk, so he was like, "Yeah, I was waiting for you." He was like, "Yeah, I was waiting for you." Said something like that. So that was enough to confirm what my mom said. But come to find out years later, that she said that she made that up because I think he called my mom. I wish I would have probably did the same thing.
So
he called my mom a bitch. He called
so
my
he
mom a
wasn't.
bitch.
So he wasn't physically abusing your sister.
Yeah, I don't know outside of that time any physical abuse. I don't know.
But you do know he
any
tried to
physical
kill your
abuse
brother,
outside.
though. You do know he tried to kill your brother.
Yeah, according to the report.
So how close are you and your brother?
Huh?
How close are you and your brother?
Oh yeah, that's my brother. You know,
I mean, I'm just saying, I'm not trying to be funny. Some people are not just that close with their brothers. I mean, I got cousins and I got even friends who I'm more closer with than siblings. So I'm not trying to be funny. I'm just trying to get your state of mind, because I know me. If a nigga's hitting my sister and he's tried to kill my brother, I would try to do all means to get him to where I want him at. And so my state of mind would not be at the right temperament, because maybe, God forbid, maybe I would try to use his loved ones to actually draw him out. You understand what I'm saying? To get to him, because he's just did something to my loved one. So I'm just trying to get an understanding of your anger. And I'm not saying that it's right. You understand what I'm saying? Because, there was a story to where this dude, they killed his brother, they did something, and he execute their whole family, execution style. He took them out. You see what I'm saying? So I'm not justifying it. I'm not saying it's right. I'm just trying to get an understanding of the state of mind. So I that's my last question.
Yeah. Like I said, I'm very close to my brother. We actually, grew up, slept in the same bed, poor together. He's my older brother, so he fought a lot for me. When I was younger, fought a lot for me. As a youth, I didn't have a father around, so he was really my protector. When something happened, it would be him. So now as we adults, that's my brother. So in terms of the situation, as what you said, it was serious. It was serious. So the sentiments that you showed was what I was feeling at the time when that happened. And not only that, the relationship that was built with the two families, I felt very disrespected. We it's Thanksgiving, Christmas. You know what I'm saying? They was married, wedding, so these families was merged, and I just think that maybe he was drunk. I don't know what it was. But for him to go that far with it. Now, if they would have got into a fight and it was just a fist fight, and because me and him got into a fist fight, like I said, when I was 17, and we moved forward from that, but to bring a knife into the situation, and the way it happened, and Anonymous Hebrew, and Yara knows, because I actually went to the house today to talk to my brother, and he still got those scars on him. He still got those scars, and that was 17 years ago. So it was a deep situation, bro.
And we got 3 friends of the channel: Unseen Soldier, Sister Soul, and Divania. Hit the like button, please, and subscribe if you're not subscribed. Stick around for the other conversations, and just to let y'all know what you're actually looking at. Solarmind is a commissioner of a debate league. He started a debate league, right? It's in his 3rd year, going on his 4th year. The 4th season starts September 6th. We all are debaters. Me, A9, Yara's a judge, Yahuka non-debater, Akmalak, Taz. And so we're actually questioning him to get full clarity on the case that he had. Because Sanet and Napa and other people, that the unmentionables, has put out there that he's a full-fledged pedophile that has been charged and convicted of messing with a little girl. So in the perspective of that, he feels is necessary and important to come forth and be 100% transparent on the situation. And I would like for people to encourage everybody to be like that, that's going through something right now. These accusations, I want to start, I'm going to ask you about them in a second. accusations are horrible. But people who actually had these charges, especially people like Polite, who has such stature, could be transparent and give the black community this experience to know how real life is. If he feels he's innocent, then he knows that other people could be in the same situation and that he could use this opportunity to help us all mature. And I also want to say this, and I go to the guest. You cannot just start spreading the title of pedophile to someone who's not a pedophile. That's a hell of an accusation. And then you cannot connect everybody else who comments the channel that they own to being a group of pedophiles. That is ridiculous, it's cartoonish, and it takes away from the reality of the real subjects of matter at hand, the ones like Polite. So let's go to Unseen Soldier. He hit the panel first. Peace to you, big dog. Blessings. What's going down?
Hey, what's up? What's going on, man? Hey, what's going on, Solar?
What's up, brother?
Yeah, man. Shit, man. I've been watching y'all for a minute, man. Back to your blog talk days and In the Black and so forth. Mainly, I just sit in the background as a spectator and speak from time to time. I gotta ask you some questions. As you know, Nepal is going around. She's telling this story about you calling her daughter's phone.
Mm-hmm.
Now, me personally, I'm gonna let it be known because of my interactions with Nepal, I'm biased because I know she's deceitful, and there's no way around that. If anybody has been watching her, they know she's deceitful. Nevertheless, I still want to ask you, did the situation she said occurred as far as you calling her daughter's phone, and how did that play out?
Yeah, well, it's a manipulation of she was trying to paint a picture. So to answer your question, I did call her daughter's phone. But the full story is, the first time that she showed signs of who she is, we were actually talking at the time, and I think it was the situation that she had with one else one that she was upset about, and she would go and do a stream because at the time everybody had a manager on the debate league channel. She would go and do a stream, and it was probably like around like 2-3 o'clock in the morning, and I think it was somebody called me like, yo, like you watching this stream? I think it was Trip D's or somebody. And so I go into the onto the YouTube and I see it's about 6 people watching, and she's talking about some crazy stuff. Talking to I think it was about Lex and one else one, and she was just, so I cut the stream off, and then I call her like, yo, what the fuck are you doing on my channel talking crazy like that? And then she was, expressed her feelings towards the situation. And so I told her don't call me no more. And I hung the phone up, and then she would call. She called me like back to back to back to back to back. So even when JJ 7000 was saying, yeah, she just kept on calling, that could be true. Because I mean, that's what she was doing, calling. So I blocked her. She would then call me from another number. And so me not knowing it's just the numbers on there, I answered the phone. That comes out to be her daughter's number. So as what y'all seen here on a Solar Vision Debate League, we was like off and on constantly because she's, she was always getting into stuff here. And so it would be always that same scenario, block. And but at a time that I eventually knew that just was her other number. That's what it kind of came to be. So she would call me from that number occasionally, and one time she called me and it was a missed call. So it wasn't until about like an hour later that I seen the missed call, and I would call it back, and her daughter would answer the phone. That was like a 5-second conversation. Oh yeah, okay, yeah. Tell your mom to call me. I just called the other number. So she's taking that to try to paint a picture as if I was like, trying to talk to her daughter, bro. So, that's the answer to your question. Yeah, I did call that number, which turned out to be her daughter number, but I never had a conversation with her daughter without her supervision, So she's just lying, and she just trying to paint a picture as to what she did with the charges to defame my character and try to paint as if I was trying to get at her and to use her daughter like that.
Right. Let me say this before I go. I think, brothers, we make a serious mistake. We don't deal with things like rape and molestation even-handedly. To this day, on YouTube, I haven't seen brothers deal with it even-handedly. And when we don't deal with something even-handedly, situations occur sort of like apparently what's going on with Solar. A situation occurred with my brother, and it came from my sister. My sister accused my brother of something. And I watched my mom do something very diabolical to my brother, only for my sister to mistakenly slip and let everybody know it wasn't true. She lied on him. So perhaps in the future, maybe this panel and many other panels can go over this topic more thoroughly and even-handedly. But that's all I got. And y'all be safe, be blessed. I'm
I
out.
appreciate you, man. Shout out to you.
If I could say something real quick,
Absolutely.
It was something that one of those ones just said in the chat room, like the pattern. According to Zion Lex, he's supposed to be coming out, and that's why boss been putting pressure on him about the video, the recording. According to him, it was a type of altercation that went down where her and Sinetta was, going back and forth, and she, within the whole argument, said, "Get your hands off me, or I'll call the police." Now, the problem with that, according to Zion Lex, was that Sinetta didn't even touch her. So, according to his story, he says that afterwards they would go to Sinetta, him and Polite, and say, "Well, you need to cut her off, bro." Because that's serious. To threaten to call the police and say, "Get your hands off me," when the person ain't even touching you, and you're gonna call the police. So, like what she said, you see a pattern.
Yeah, especially in New York City, yo.
No, they weren't even in New York. That's about to say. You out of town.
Yeah.
Where was they at?
You in Florida. You in Miami. You finna get
I think that was when he was in California, I think.
Was it? Oh yeah, that was Beverly Hills. Yeah.
Oh yeah, you don't want to go to jail in California neither.
You on the other side of the country, bro. So you ain't even making your plane back. Sister Davanya, peace to you. Welcome to the Argument League. Floor is yours.
Thank you. Peace, everyone.
Peace.
And to the miss you guys. To Solarmind, there's so much I want to say. You have this topic is very dear, very near, very, very near, and dear to me. So I have a lot I want to say, but I'm gonna be reserving that for another time. Solarmind, I am so sorry that you are being persecuted for things that you have done in your past, which we all have done things in our past, that if we can take some of those things back, we will. But to answer the guy that called in before, how can I trust you? How can we trust you? My first answer would be, well, okay, let's do it according to, let's do it. I'm with the scriptures. You judge them by their fruits. So the question is, this was an incident that happened 17 years ago. Is there any repetitive situations has there been any repetitive situations? Has he been going back to jail? Has more accusations come up upon Solarmind? So for anyone to make these accusations, for anybody to say, well, what do you think? Well, how were you feeling back then? Do you think if you were upset, it's Solarmind, if you were upset back then, maybe you weren't thinking. The point is, no matter what Solarmind was feeling back then, that is 17 years ago. That is his past. He's repented. We are on his channel right now. Shows the growth he's made. So for what they're doing, I mean, and we all know this deflection, the distraction, what they're doing. But Solarmind, when all that said, I had to get that out. And also, let me say this: a lot of these people don't realize that situation where you had when you say, with the whole indecent thing. Me working in the airport, Kennedy Airport, a few years ago, there is one of our workers, a carpenter. The porta sand was too far from where he was working, and he went behind a stack of lumber and took a urine. One of the freaking the air traffickers up in the tower, they made a phone call. Next thing, Port Authority police came, escorted this man off the job. Not only did they arrest him, gave him a ticket, he lost his job, and he had to be registered. He had to be registered. They put it as an indecent. Let me tell you, I tried to fight for that guy really hard, because I'm like, listen, we don't have, the bathrooms. But a lot of these guys don't understand. Like, you could be doing something in private. You could thinking you're hey, I'm in the dark, I'm in the corner, and you and your girl, you and your guy getting it on, and all it takes is for a mother and a child or somebody just walk by and it offends them and they make a phone call, boom. That's all it takes. That's indecent exposure there. So a lot of these people, they're looking at they look at the word indecent and they think, oh, it has to be with a minor. It has to be with this. No, a grown man can call and have you arrested if he see you pissing outside. You can go and get arrested for pissing outside because your genitals, you did it in public. So everybody who is pointing these fingers at, and then one more thing I have to say is not one more thing, for a lot of these guys who I see making statements in all the different channels I've been frequenting and hear them, I see a lot of them, they tout the whole Bible. They tout that they believe in the Bible and all that. Well, let me say this to all of you. You guys keep judging people on their past sins. When they have repented and they have moved on and doing better in life, you guys keep bringing up people's past and charging them for that. I'm telling you right now, the Most High says, damn it, if you come to him and asking him for forgiveness for your sins, because he's going to keep your sins in the forefront if you're going to keep keeping other people's sins in the forefront. He has repented. That's 17 years ago. What is wrong with this? This is a fucking deflection. I'm sorry. Excuse me for cursing, but the shit got to go back on the guy who freaking got stains today. Stains that are still present today. So freaking 14-year-old girl, right now he's in Aruba right now. The latest video, he makes a video hour long, whatever. He's in Aruba right now. We got to be thinking about those 14-year-old girls that is in Aruba right now. We got to get back on the damn subject. So this ain't got nothing to do with Solar. Solar, I commend you. I mean, you have no idea. You know me, how I feel about you, the respect I have for you, the gratitude I have for you for the service you provide with this channel. But I'm telling you right now, man, you have lifted yourself in my eyes, and I'm sure a lot of other people's eyes. You have lifted yourself to a higher level in my eyes, and I'm sure a lot of other people, just to come and get yourself shuck-a-buck by your own word to stand on this, because this is a difficult subject. And for anybody to go and accuse somebody of this, let me tell you something. I don't like to talk, but I will go in. Get me one day, and I will going back from 2019, and I will paint a picture like you never saw before of Jezebel. I will paint a picture right now. I'm not going to call names, but let me tell you, I'll take it back. And a lot of people don't even know the history of Jezebel that's going around right now. This is evil. And you don't deserve that. And a lot of people, these people are docking. This is where we're at now. But you know what? All of this needed to happen for us to freaking come and start to freaking unite. Like Suave has been always been saying, hey, let's just unite because we're black. You don't have to, forget about the religion. Let's just, hey, be righteous and all that. And the scriptures like, be righteous. If we can do this, and righteousness is sticking up for fucking what's right and what's wrong. And right now, what's wrong is what they're doing to Solarmind, what they've done to Mighty Hebrew and everybody, doxing them because they're trying to take the thing off of it. But I'm going to tell you something. His ass, the same person who's hosting the channel that's trying to take you down, I guarantee you, mark my words, I'm telling you right now, he too shall be in handcuffs. So this is not to get the pressure off of the spotlight off of Star. This is to get off of Polite. This is to get the spotlight off of himself. Because I'm telling you, mark my words, I don't know anything, but I know what the Spirit and what the Most High has told me, and everything wisdom puts it together. He is going down too. Period. And let those who are hanging on to his skirt tails, let them choose their side. All of those who are shouting Yahweh and Yahweh Echad and all this stuff, they don't even know him. They don't even know him because they chose their side. They chose the side of the pedophile. They chose the side of the people who don't give a shit. So I'm sorry, I had to get that out. But Swab, I just have two questions, real questions, and that's it. Solarmind, can I ask you, when the cop showed up at the incident, you said they showed up casually. You said, was it how many cars showed up? How many SWAT cars?
It was just one. It was just one car that showed up.
Just okay, and okay, that's very important. So when they showed up and they took you, did they just leave the girl in the house? They just took you, or how did that scenario play out?
I don't know exactly how they got her with the statement. I don't know because I was taken first, so I don't really know what happened. As far as what happened at the house, I don't know.
Okay. The reason why I asked that because that's very if everybody's paying attention, that in itself is very suspicious, right? Because if the phone call, if that's what they're arresting you for, and they come and they arrest you, believe you me, they're gonna have other squad cars there coming to take her. You understand what I'm saying? They're not gonna come, okay, Perp, we got you, and then leave the victim who was just harassed, who was just molested. They just left the little girl there in the house, didn't even go check her. They just drove away with you. Okay, we got you. You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So even that in itself, it just takes logic to see that whole story, the way they played out with you. And because they love blocking up black men so much, listen, if that would have been a great opportunity to put you away for a long time. But like you said, in preliminary hearings, the judge was like, This is preliminary hearings, people. Preliminary.
Absolutely.
The judge was like, So you see what I'm saying? That's important. You're not gonna get a phone call from a girl saying, some guy came to my house and he blah, 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 blah. And then the cops just showed up nonchalant, like you said, they showed up nonchalant. They just took you. They didn't even go to the door. They didn't even go to the house. Hey, little girl, are you okay? We got another squad car coming. Blah, blah, blah. They're supposed to stay there until another squad car, the ambulance come. And you understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That's why the judge knew it was bullshit. That's why the judge had withdrawn for all of them idiots who don't even know how to read a proper court record. They wouldn't know how to read a section from a subtitle. Mm-hmm. And I'm done. Thank you.
I appreciate you, Sister Devanya.
Blessings to you,
Sister Devanya.
Blessings to you all the way. Peace to you, brother.
Blue's trying to get your attention.
Hold on, Devanya, don't leave. We got two top debaters in here, Sister Soul and Sister Devanya. Please don't leave when this is over. We got.
I don't know how we're gonna ever I don't know how we gonna transition into that, but
Maybe in the
we'll
back.
see.
Yeah. Yeah.
We'll see. Sister Soul, the floor is yours. Orthodox Moore has joined us. Blue is back. Sister Soul, the floor is yours.
Greatness to all of y'all, especially you, Solar. Keep your head up, brother, and good energy towards you. Obviously, you got your face on. You ain't even hiding behind the avatar. Want people to see your earnesty. That says a lot and it's commendable. Another thing I wanted to say about this whole thing is the distraction. Like the sister was saying, I wanted to touch on it. I was talking about this the other day actually because I don't know if you guys have looked at the whole entire thing as far as like the beginning of like I'm trying to say this real quick. I ain't gonna try. I am the conscious community, right? When we look at these so-called conscious leaders, right? All of these leaders mostly came in at a time where there was something going on. I've heard a lot of numerous things from people over the years and some recent things. Things as far as like some of them being involved with possible police connections, some of them being involved with being certain officers in military positions, some of them being involved in this, and that. And what I feel on that, what I see on that a lot of times is when things happen in the community, they put these type of things out there because they want to have people there to guard it or to lead it or to handle it. Because when you think about the conscious community and us coming together as people, as one, in our minds as a collective thought, bringing in enormous types of ideas and just expanding ourselves with each other, right? They know about this type of stuff. Obviously, they have all the technology that that kind of is reading your thoughts. Pretty much, if people don't know that, they have the technology, the cell phones, the LED lighting, all this stuff that actually can pick up on your telepathy. So they have information on what we thinking, this, and that. So when I thought about this, with all this stuff going on recently, when I heard that Solar being accused of this and that, and I'm like, oh my gosh, so I'm looking at the things, trying to see. So I'm like, okay, so they said there was a charge, but he didn't have to go to jail for it or anything. So obviously it was unfounded, blah blah blah. That should have been simple. I don't even understand why that was brought up. So I'm looking at the fact of how a lot of the so-called leaders in a conjunction, they all have some type of weird something going on. The polite dude, this is not something new. This has been going on with him for years. Every time you turn around, there's something going on with this brother, and people still accept him in the community. People still get duped by him. People following him now. That's why he over in Aruba. The sister was saying he's over there because why? People still paying him. They sending the money because he got a couple little people here. He might be trying to turn them on to some kind of little tip he got from somebody because of his name, or this stuff brings light to people, so they'll be able to get some extra little something here or there from somebody that's looking to these false stars, these entertainers and things. So that's what he is. Brother Polite is an entertainer. If he wasn't an entertainer, he wouldn't be out there like he is. He wouldn't be out there flossing in a car that he says is his. I don't know if it is or not. I've heard stories that it ain't, plenty of them. But the car that's supposed to be his, talking about his $10,000 sneakers, his this, and that. That's what you're talking about. And then you're gonna say that, oh yeah, I can brag on these things because I worked hard for him. This, and that. It's plenty of people that work hard for him. It's trillionaires out here that wear the same clothes like multiple times. I mean, I'm just saying. So it's just about what's important in a person's mind. So yours is the flaws. So that gives another idea of the false light and the false stars that these people try to be and make themselves gleam to people. So people look at that and their eyes off. They start struggling. Oh, they listen to what the person's saying. And I know that a lot of these people are agents in these communities because I've been looking at this. I've been watching this shit. I'm sorry. I've been watching it. It's tripping me out. The distraction is definitely there because there's a lot of things that these agents will do. They have their place and they're there. They're long standing. I'm talking about the ones that's been there 15 years, 10 years. People been listening to them. Yeah, these people be agents. Not all of them, but a lot of them. Y'all have to think of things, look at circumstances, look at people that get away with stuff, look at people that's involved with people that keep getting away with stuff, look at people that implicate people because they want to try to cast a light over there, casting another light somewhere else. So it's dim on their part, but people are still seeing it if they're aware of what's going on. So we just got to be aware of these things. And another thing I was going to say, Solar, brother, we got to be more transparent, more clairvoyant to the things that we go through as growing into these adults that we've changed into to make prominence in the community or to be a better light or to be something better. You going through that experience, brother. One thing I heard you say that stood out. You said it made this change me. This changed me. You said it the other day too. Because this is something that was important and prominent in your life. You knew that, listen, if I keep going down this road, let my anger control me, whatever it is, something else is going to happen. So maybe you needed that circumstance put in your life. Maybe that man might not have been doing the right things, but sometimes circumstances are there to make changes for us so that we can see different things. Because now you had a different light. You said, oh, I don't want none of this. I ain't trying to be in jail. You know what I'm saying? You might have messed up, did a couple other things, trying to be in the street, whatever your case may be. People don't know what people go through. Some people might not want to be a gangster or in the street or selling drugs, but they ain't got no choice. They ain't got nobody to feed them. They don't got nobody to clothe them. So we don't know nobody's story. So we can't judge what they did or what they went through. But if they're trying to do something as a commendable person, as an adult, once they've reached that stage of full adulthood, and that's not an age, that's not a teenager. Oh, you're 21, you're 25, now you're an adult. Shit, that takes a level of maturity and depending on what a person been through. So we can't say a person should have did this by this age. They should have been doing this, da 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 da. If they're doing something now, that's all we can worry about. Yesterday was yesterday, today is now, and that's all we can deal with is the now. So we should be more transparent in the things that we've gone through. Some of the other brothers, maybe y'all can just think of something that y'all went through that made a change for y'all. Just when y'all talking up here, other younger guys that might be going through these things, they might be like, damn, I'm going through that same thing that brother going through. Hold on now, I don't want to be, having a record or somebody can pull something back on me. I might want to make something in my life. You know what I'm saying? I just think we should be more transparent about the good and the bad because they all coincide and we learn valuable lessons from them. I know I can talk about y'all. Let me stop, but I just want to get that in because I had a few more things, but it's just that's important. I think we need to really be transparent, start sharing of ourselves, the truth and the light. It's nothing to be ashamed of, brother. You was like, I was ashamed of that. Shit, why would you be ashamed of it? Look what you're doing now. You're trying to be a positive influence in your community. You did something, you went through it, and that's over. It was years back. Oh well, now this is an example of somebody else. Hey, don't do this. What I did. Don't be ashamed of that. Be proud of the man that you are now. You're changing. You're doing what you're supposed to be doing now. You're trying to set example for other people. You're helping other brothers, supporting them. You're doing something good now. That's all you need to be worried about. Shit, all that other shit is over. But yeah, I just wanted to say that.
Thank you, Sister Soul. I appreciate it. And just to recap, right? You could go back. We advise anybody who's coming in at a later time to go back and watch this in its entirety. Solar has no charges of any pedophilia type. So there is no action to even look for a repetitive nature of. Okay. He was accused of something and it was a false accusation. And it was proven to be a false accusation. Okay, Blue came back in and Moore's in here. Blue, you want to say something? Okay, then we're gonna go to Moore. Brother Moore in the building, peace to you. The floor is yours.
And peace to the panel and peace to the chat. I definitely want to say I appreciate everybody for coming through for this show because this is a really important topic and a really important situation to get on top of and really make sure everyone understands what the facts are. So first and foremost, I want to give a shout out to Solar for being forthright with his information and talking about his history and being open about that. Because he doesn't have to. He doesn't owe an explanation to anybody.
Right.
So I definitely appreciate him for being open about that.
That's right.
Second, I want to point out a couple of things. Like, so Solar said that this was a changing point in his life. Like, this was a big situation that made him stop and reflect. And so something I know about Soul is that he used to be a Muslim and whatnot, right? And so would I be correct in assuming that you became a Muslim sometime after this event, Solar?
Well, I would join the Nation of Islam after this event.
And then later on, you became like an Ahmadi Muslim, etc.
No, I was an Ahmadi Muslim before this event.
Ooh, interesting. So how did
you thought you was finna come in here and get Islam some props, didn't you?
No. I was gonna say the event. Like a lot of us, we go through serious life events that makes us reflect and just get more devout as individuals. Period. Nothing having to do with religion. Just being devout as individuals.
I actually made the actual Shahada Probably maybe the event happened. Maybe I was 2 years in, 3 years in, to the Ahmadiyya movement. But like I said, I was in my 20s, and so it was like, if anybody here in Philly knows, everybody's Muslim. So it's like at the same time I was kind of following the trend in a way. But I think that as the years went on, I began to develop a certain level of responsibility to take it seriously, so in terms of that, I think that all that kind of shapes what you see at Solarmind now, from the Ahmadi movement and Nation of Islam, and even the information that I came into the conscious circle, played a significant role as our Quasi. Like I told countless of times, I talked to him almost on a daily basis. So all that shapes what you see today at Solarmind.
Back. And so there's a couple of narratives I want to address with this whole situation. One, I'm seeing a lot of people who are claiming to be of a religious background, who are making baseless accusations, who are making false accusations, and who are slandering you without adequate proof. And doing such is against the scrolls that they say they hold dear, etc., which I find to be extremely intriguing. On top of that, I hear people talking about that if you're of a religious persuasion and we're standing with you in this situation, that we're wrong for doing such, and that we're fake Israelites or fake Muslims, etc., for doing such. And I want to point something out, because a lot of them are saying, like, well, there's no difference between SVDL and HOK. And I really want to point something out to the people. HOK is built off a model of belittling religion. 100% belittling religion. When Solarmind started this league, he just said he wanted to give everybody a fair shot. He wasn't trying to give a bias. He just wanted to give everybody a fair shot, because when you go to the HOK, you already see what it is. There's a clear bias. And so when this league started off, it literally started off with the one West Israelite, an Islamic Israelite, and an Ahmadiyya Muslim. And then it branched off from there to what we see right now, with all the different belief systems that we have in our community and whatnot. And there's no bias one way or the other. Everybody's getting a fair shot to speak their piece. Everybody's getting a fair shot to put their beliefs out there and to stand on what they believe on. There is no there is no kiss in the ring. There is no whatever. You know what I'm saying? You just get in and stand on your doctrine. You know what I'm saying? If you can't stand on it, you fall. It just is what it is. And what's beautiful about that is we get a biopsy of our community and what's really going on. We're not getting the projected filter of being told how to think about it like we're getting on other channels. We're getting it rough, rugged, and raw over here. You're getting it without a filter. And that's because, like, my man, like, so Solar said he wanted to give people of the book a fair shake. He didn't say a biased shake. He said a fair shake. So that's a big reason why you see people like me, Anonymous, Elder Yara, Yehukanan, etc., DJ Black Charm, a whole bunch of people coming through who say they rock with certain religious traditions, but they're like, nah, we respect this over here. Is it perfect? No. Is life perfect? No. Is our community perfect? No. And that's why this league is extremely important, because it shines a spotlight on all that. On all that. And we get to talk about the imperfections of life, and we get to debate about the imperfections of life, and we get to debate on, like, what we think can improve things for our community and move it forward. That's extremely valuable, because you're getting real opinions over here. You're not getting no fake opinions. You're not getting what's the word? You're not getting opinions that are getting a stamp of approval, right? We're not the approved voices over here. We're the voices over here, fam. It just is what it is. You call Solar up and say you want to be part of the league. Hey, fam, you're getting a Shugga Buck session. You know, you're getting a house session. He ain't said no to nobody. You feel me? Yeah. Can anybody get on Sunday this channel? Can just anybody call up Side and be like, hey man, can I come through for an interview? Nah, fam.
Mm-hmm.
You got to be approved. He has an approved selection. He has an approved slot. He has an approved roster. Either you fit within his roster or you don't. Look at the SVDL roster. How many people deep is it? How many different belief systems? It's not an apples to apples comparison. It's apples to oranges all day.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's why you see people like me supporting this. That's why you see people like me, the Swab Boss. Because it's real, fam. We're gonna fight like family. We're gonna get along like family, and we're gonna tell our truths like family do. But you're gonna get all of it from top to bottom. You're not gonna get some approved version of what people want you to see. You're gonna see what it really is. So again, shout out to Solar for turning his life around at one point in time, for seeing that, for taking that situation serious and building off it, and giving people. And check this out, fam. All of us here, all of us got stories like Solar, fam. And you know what? We're here able to talk about the future and not the past, because Solar decided to change his game, change his life, and give us a platform to where, you know what, we can do what he did. We can redeem ourselves from our past and try to build a new future. And it's not about you know what I'm saying, keeping up with the Joneses. It's not about, like, you know what I'm saying, being the Don King of the game, trying to build something off confusion and controlled competition and controlled confusion. Fam, again, he just sits back and lets us do us. Like, he'll let us run streams. Does Slidetter let people run streams on his joint? Nah, fam. It's a controlled thing over there. This is way more organic. Way more organic. And being such, it actually performs a service for the people, because you can see real ideas in real time, in real competition. Like, so if you say something, you got to stand on it. You know what I'm saying? You got to prove it. You know what I'm saying? If you can't, your people are gonna let you know, hey, you know what, that was kind of weak, fam. That was weak sauce, fam. And if you don't want to believe them, hey, you know what? Here's a judge's score that tells you, you know, that was weak sauce, fam. And then there's comments from the people, like, no, that was weak sauce, fam. And then we keep it moving. We get better, we get sharper, and we keep it moving. So shout out to Solar for one, turning his life around. B, giving us a platform to turn our lives around if we so choose. And C, being forthright with his past, because again, he doesn't have to be for anybody. He doesn't, like, again, if you heard all of our past from all the people in this league, your jaw would drop, fam. We all got something to apologize for. We all got some craziness that we wish didn't happen. Like, y'all hear me and like, oh yeah, Moore's got the goody two shoes back. If y'all really knew my background, y'all would flip. But shout out to people like Solar who didn't press me on stuff like that. He gave me a platform to do me, as long as I'm being cool with it. You know what I'm saying? And when people are going crazy with it, the ones who want to make you believe like they were down with the life that Solar used to come from, he gave people like that a shot too. But when they wild out, hey, you gotta go, fam. There's a standard, fam.
Yeah,
it's not anything goes, and that's valuable to our community. But with that, I gotta go. There's some stuff popping off in my background, but appreciate y'all. Peace to the panel, peace to the chat.
Appreciate that. More Solar, you want to respond to that?
Yeah. I think Domo said it best. You know, when he was like we don't follow Solar, we argue with Solar. This is not an aristocracy. This is not a hierarchy. You know, that wasn't the goal. You know, I'm the person really that does the behind the scenes stuff. I'm the person that, you know, sets up the debates and actually, you know, with the trophies and, you know, the graphics that y'all like and all the different types of things, and you know, conducting the actual debate. But as what y'all can see, you know, when a person is disgruntled, they are very, very open about how they feel, you know, with decisions and all this type of things. It's not a dictatorship over here. Everybody has free reign to say what they want to say and express themselves on how they feel. And that was what the goal was, you know, in light of what I was seeing. You know, I learned that, you know, you can't constantly complain about something if you're not providing an alternative solution. So this would be, you know, that. This would be like, okay, this is an issue. Let's deal with it, and it turned out to be a good thing, in the long run. So that's why even when it was a little bit of views, in the beginning, I didn't really care about that. As I begin to see it grow, I seen the importance of doing things, solving problems, problem solving. And this is on a much lighter level as far as with the debate league, but yeah, that was the idea. So shout out to Orthodox more.
Okay, and just to show the standard, we just had an incident where one of the debaters had expressed in a conversation that he doesn't see nothing wrong with someone up to 25, 26 years old sleeping with a 16-year-old. And I took his manager. He's no longer allowed on this channel. That was the first time he ever said anything like that. There was another guy who also expressed those sentiments, that we should work our society forward. That's how he described it, toward sleeping with young women, getting them before they get old and corrupted. He's no longer allowed over here.
Hey, we ran him out of here.
Yeah.
Do you think these are agents, brother?
Agents?
People, that's what I was saying. Like people like this seem like agents to me. You know how now in the government everything has been switched for, when Obama came in with all the transgender, the rainbow stuff, the ABCDQR, whatever community it is, all this stuff, right? For that guy to even say that, that pushes that agenda. People don't look at stuff, but in the mind, these things push this agenda in your mind. But by those two brothers saying that, they're basically a part of that community that believes that pedophilia is okay because that's what that community is. They have it legal in some states. It's a governor right now that has it in a state. I believe it's one of the California states. You know what I'm saying? So these things are agendas, brother. I'm telling you, we need to be pointing this stuff out and looking at it because it's not small shit. I'm sorry, it's not small. This is important for them to get on a panel and platform, knowing everybody's listening to them and say that and think that it's okay. Don't have remorse or anything to be embarrassed or feel like, damn, should I say this? I mean, is it okay to say something like this? That means mentally either it's something in their mind that's wrong for them to think it's okay to mention it on a panel and for other people to hear. Or it's an agenda you're pushing for other people to say, oh, yeah, see, that guy feels like that too. I'm not the only one that feels like that. Let me go with my feelings and go rape a child tonight. I mean, I'm just saying, this stuff seems simple, but we got to really look at this type of stuff, bro. This is sick. Just for you to say those two brothers was up there saying that, yo, that's whoa, that's a lot.
Facts. And so that shows, just the moral standard over here without anybody watching this. So it's integrity. Nobody forces to get him out of here. Nobody complained to this, that, and the other. It was just the immediate, round of action just from, natural morality. But I would like to say this. Now, Nepal was dealing with Solar a couple years ago. And I'm assuming she knew about his cases then, right?
Yeah, she would be the one that actually had my name to actually dig in, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And so,
and that's on record, right? She said this on record on Sas's channel.
Yeah. So now we have these guys setting this narrative over here. So I want to play this audio of the conversation between Sonetta and Solar because Sonetta tells Solar in his audio he should be the spokesperson for HOK.
That's right.
This was a recent conversation. It was not years ago.
And I want to add add to that. This was after he called Lex and threatened to reveal my public record.
Because he already had
at that time, because in the beginning of that conversation, and when you play it, you're going to hear me reiterate, like, yeah, you can release it. Go ahead and release it. So in the beginning of the conversation, the part that's not recorded, he initially came on there and said, yeah, I got your record. You know, like he's like trying to threaten me with it now. So yeah, that's why that's what happened in the beginning of the conversation, that he threatened me with my record, you know. So yeah, he was totally aware of the situation. Most likely from the sister Nepal, you know.
Here we go. Let's get this audio right quick.
You know, at a point in time, you know, like with the information, and it was really black thought for real, unfiltered black thought. And for me to now have to see this shit is embarrassing. So that's why I didn't say nothing about it, brother. It ain't had nothing to do with what you thought you had on me. Like I said, if you pull it up and bring it out to the people. No, I ain't got shit on you. I wouldn't do no crazy shit like that. Yeah, but I'm calling you about the sister that's really for real. The pictures that she sent to me, she sent most of the pics via Facebook, and she blocked me on Facebook, so I don't even have no pictures of her. You know what I mean? She blocked the pictures, and the pictures that she sent to my phone, that was 2 phones ago. I don't even know where that phone was at. Yeah, so she has to come out and be honest with you that she sent somebody else pictures, because I didn't send no pictures. And it's not a big deal. Like, there was some past shit. But don't bring my name in this shit. That's not cool, bro. Especially after I made my duty. Niggas was asking me for the pics. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wouldn't do no shit like that, bro. I believe you, man. You know what I mean? I really believe it, man. You sound sincere to me. Yeah, so that's not cool. And that's the same reason why I was saying, you know what I mean? I'm not going to argue with your wife, bro. Like, you had your wife call me, I'm not going to argue with your wife, bro. So you in there. You going in there. If you want to be Solarmind. You said you seen a motherfucking tweet. You should tell her. Well, you know, I did. I heard her energy. I know she was about to go in. I didn't want that smoke, bro. So if you want to be Solarmind, yeah, you got to send the queen. The queen to knock me off the piece. I'll let you speak to my fucking son and my daughter. Yeah. The queen will knock me off the chessboard every time. I'll let you know that. That's the secret. The queen will knock me off the chessboard every time. Because I'm not going to argue with the queen. I respect that. That's what's up, too. I respect that, though. No, that wasn't me, bro. So you got to talk to her, bro. Yeah, I'm going to talk to her. I'm going to talk to her over there. I be telling her about going on the fucking shows anyway. I keep telling her she don't fucking listen. Stay the fuck off of the fucking channels, man. Yeah, she's on Rob's channel. You know what I'm saying? Hey, listen, man. Yeah, I know. Yeah, so yeah. I don't know why you fucking with that nigga. It's nothing but problems. There's gonna be nothing but problems with that whole situation. And like I said, I removed myself from that. But as far as with the whole thing, with the polite thing, I hope everything works out. You know what I'm saying? For you. Personally, I don't give a. Not for me. I don't give a fuck about it no more. I'm moving forward. Alright, so you know. And I made that decision was because I called the nigga when everybody was going at me like about the second, third day. The nigga straight up told me, yo, I'm more concerned with me right now. And I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, yo, you don't see niggas coming at me for you. Yo, at least you can come and make a statement, nigga. Make a fucking statement. Let niggas know that this is your problem. No, nobody else's. He didn't even want to do that, man. And that's when I decided to come out and say what I had to say. Like, I'm done with this nigga. Because he didn't give a fuck about me. But that's the second time he did that to like yo. I know, that's true. You're always standing up, and that's how we started beefing with the in the black shit. It wasn't about you. It was about polite scamming this dude. I always stand up for that nigga. Yeah, you take the bullets for this nigga, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? And that's just unfortunate that he would even sacrifice a person that's rocking out there off him. That just shows his stupidity. And especially in a vulnerable time like this. Because you was taking bullets. I'm like, look at this nigga doing it again. The same thing, he's doing it again. Why is he arguing with all these people? I don't know why. I'm looking at the whole shit like, damn, this is crazy. Why is this nigga arguing with all these people about some shit that this nigga did? No, I wasn't arguing with nobody about bullshit. You ain't really here. I was saying, yo, I don't give a fuck what this nigga did with his dick. I wasn't talking about little girls. Because Taz, that nigga, I never even met the nigga. Never even spoke to him. And when I first did,
do, bro?
Well, she's down with them. She don't even know. She never spoke to me or none of that.
Well, you was banging on, but because I think didn't you bring her up when you was going in on Taz, bro?
No,
you was saying something about his wife, brother. You said fuck his wife.
Taz banged on me first, brother.
I'm just saying that's why she going at you though, because you brought her into it. You said fuck your wife.
Yo, do you know? I got Taz's whole fucking file.
I seen the silk video. I seen the silk video.
Yeah, but I'm the one that brought the shit out. I had all that shit first. You know your boy. I ain't come out with this shit because my wife kept saying no, just leave it alone. Your boy Tahaka Bay. You know this nigga is married. He ain't married, but he's with his so-called wife or his girlfriend, and she's still married to her husband. Did you know that?
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, brother. This nigga been to jail for
You sound like a female.
I got all that shit.
Yeah, it's like a motherfucker. That's real talk.
I got all that, bro.
You said what, bro?
Yo, gossip.
Yeah. The sister said he sound like a female. Yeah, that's how he talking. You know, he was definitely. Yeah. And it's like it's a crazy thing. But yeah, go ahead, finish playing.
I just want to get to the part where he said you should be spokesperson. Hold on.
He gave Ruthie's a strike. Big as a fucking house, man. He gave Dr. Wesley up on
No. I said.
Hold on.
I just said, this is the allegations on Polite and this and that, blah blah blah. And until further notice, he is not allowed on South Atlanta TV until further notice. If you want to know anything about the situation, you contact Polite about the actual situation in itself. But according to reports, it's been said that he's been accused of such and such crime. And on this platform, we in no way, shape, or form condone any type of acts and blah blah blah. It should have been that type of shit, bro, to show that you were serious about the situation and cognizant of a victim being involved in this allegation.
Well, that's why you're supposed to be the House of Conscience spokesperson, brother. You bullshit.
No.
That's crazy.
So if that doesn't speak volumes, so anybody coming in at this point, man.
Reiterate, this is after he has these charges because he knew that these charges did not equate to any molestation or pedo shit that they wanted to push on Solar. See, now I done pressed and I done asked my questions. So now we back in the bag. And shout out to Solar for doing this. We riding with you. I think we've proven that. Right? We didn't come up here and softball and play. We pressed and we got answers. So I seen a new person pulling up. You go back and watch the video he dealt with. When you get back into this, understand he's saying Solar should be his spokesperson after he already got the jacket.
And he admitted in the video, which y'all just heard, man, I don't got nothing on you, man. I ain't got nothing on you, man. Right. And so I do understand y'all concern or frustration or emotion because, the conversation revolves around pedophilia. But you have to get the facts and be clear. Okay? Accusing people of doing something that they ain't done nothing is not protecting children. It's not. We cannot be like emotionally, to the point where we're childlike. Be mature, get the facts, break it down, and walk in truth. Don't just agree with people because it's a larger crowd. You want to say something, sister?
Yes, and if you notice, right, like I said, I've been jumping around and looking at everything, just trying to, get to the truth myself, like not truth, but get a better understanding of everything. So I've been listening to a whole bunch of other channels that I've never listened to before. And when you look at the whole compilation of it, it is so easy to see. It is so easy to see what's going on, and I don't know. I can't understand how people are not seeing it. Like it's right there in front of their faces, right? Like those who are who are backing for like everything is right there in front of your faces. You know he was arrested in February. You know it take time. They had to do the DNA test and all that. And the only reason why they went and put handcuffs and arrested him was because it had to come back with a DNA match. So their time frame is there because a lot of people are still under the impression that, hey, the statement happened today and they came and arrested him tomorrow. A lot of them are under the impression like this thing happened within like a day or few days. Oh, somebody made a phone call and then they just came and arrested the guy. Let's wait to see what happened. They're not even putting in their head that, yo, this shit happened in February when nobody was even thinking or talk about it. I never even knew who Tasha K was. I didn't know who Shug whatever his name in Tahaka Bay. I think I saw him, but I think I saw him because of looking at the Sanetta shows when the Israelites were debating these Pan-Africanism. And let me bring that up, right?
What?
With all of this being
Go ahead. Go ahead.
no, no, there's
Go ahead,
a lot of no. I'm just saying when as far as the introduction, that's how I got to learn Sanetta's channel and all that within the last 3-4 years. It was just looking at debates and all that, and I used to respect the channel, but then it just started going at and everything now that it's doing. Again, I'm gonna come back to it's just taking the spotlight off of them and want to throw it anywhere they can, anywhere they can. It would stick on the wall like throwing a spitball and see where it sticks, if it sticks on the ceiling. And that is all that's going on right now. And so far Solarmind has topped anyone, even like I say anyone who they have accused and bring out docs on. I mean, Solarmind put the shucklebuck word on this thing. I think you guys, you should even add that in the title where it's Solarmind, a self shucklebucking, so to speak, of Solarmind, because it takes lots of guts and glory in such a sensitive situation for him to do this. And hey, ask me any question. Anybody ask me any question. And all these bastards out there who are making these videos and talking about him, how the hell they ain't coming in now? How come they ain't coming in now? Why aren't they punching in now, these bastards, and coming in to refute everything that's being spoken about right now? This is the moment for them to come in, and bring it up, because now they got a backstory now, right? Now they got a backstory. Let's see who their next spitball is gonna go to. Because like you guys were saying, and Suave, you kept saying like, yo, we'll nip this thing in the bud, put it out there. Taz said the same thing. Yo, jump ahead of the story. Yeah, when you jump ahead of the story, like that same witch, the Jezebel, she tried to do to me and tried to say, oh, I did this and you showed your underwear and all that. Yo, I knew I called her Jezebel from 2019. I called it back then, and now everything, the sins of Jezebel is coming here. And how did Jezebel die in the Bible? You know how she died? She was off her own people. It was like, yo, we tired of this bitch. Threw her out of the window. She landed down, freaking dead. I mean, threw her off the building, landed down on the ground, and the scripture was written. God says, the dog shall eat her meat. By the time they got to her body, she ain't had no more meat on her bones. The dogs tore her ass up. And this is what this Jezebel gonna happen, because you're painted. You have been doing this not just to men, you have been doing this to women. You did this to my sister, you did this to my sister Amber, you did this to Nandy. This wicked Jezebel have been doing this to a lot of good women who I look up to and I respect because of the way they carry themselves. And this Jezebel, but just like the scripture says, the dogs are gonna eat the bones off your meat. And right now, me telling you, you're hanging around with dogs, and the same dogs that this Jezebel is hanging around with, them same dogs are going to be the same ones who are going to be tearing the meat off her bones. Thus says the Most High, thus it shall be done. I'm sorry.
Thank you. Stoller, is it anything else you want to say? Anybody else? But we
Um,
could, I
yeah,
think we
I'll
covered
just
everything.
because we've been I'm supposed to be doing another
I was
um
just about to bring that up because I know
you
you
know
got it.
so we're gonna definitely make the transition over to I believe the Taz channel, analysis channel,
Nice.
so I can talk about the issue again. But I definitely appreciate the transparency from the fellow debaters and also the people that was in the chat listening. Once again, this is a very serious issue. It's nothing to be played with. It's nothing to be weaponized. It's nothing to be brought up because I don't like the person. I wanted this to be nipped in the bud because we're definitely going to move forward in terms of getting to the bottom of what's actually going on with the polite case. I would feel as though that if this was done in this manner, on the channel that he was promoted on, then a lot of the back and forth and all the melee would have been put to rest. So it's our responsibility, right from the outset when we developed this league, as what Orthodox Moore was saying, that we conduct ourselves a different type of way. We kind of raise the standards if we're going to call ourselves conscious of how we conduct ourselves. And when certain issues come up like these, and handle in a responsible manner, and kind of step away from the ego and the back and forth and the debating and all those things to actually deal with this issue like adults. I definitely appreciate Wild Boss for having me on his platform to be able to express certain things that was alleged against me and deal with it. Like I said, I'm trying to be very transparent. That's why I actually went to the courthouse and got the actual documents, just to let y'all know that I'm not hiding nothing. So, once again, shout out to Swab Boss for allowing me to come on the platform.
Ain't no thing, man. Yeah, so if you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe to Taz exclusives. Nyla says, shout out to Out the Blue. Gotta say that. Subscribe to Out the Blue. Y'all Rob Ben Nazareth. We we are like connected through this, the debate league, the platform. There is a genuine concern here. There was an emotional roller coaster, and we were experienced and mature enough to handle it in a satisfactory way. Solar has earned more respect for me, and I'm a little bit more assured that he is who he expressed himself to be, and that he strives to actually be that person off of YouTube as well as in the public. So, like I said, I want us to be mature when we're talking about this conversation. Pedophilia is a very serious conversation that the black community have been avoiding for a long time. I used to think it was only a white thing. That was the rhetoric that I heard, even growing up. After I saw it play out in the black community, it still was like solar. I don't know. You got to guess. You got to guess. Look at the private chat. So let's, as we talk about this conversation, which it should be had more. Yeah. You see the private chat?
Oh yeah.
Okay. So as we talk about this conversation, let's really be mature. We had somebody come in here and say, Solar has a list. I know he's guilty. We can't take you serious. We can't. So I would like for the bullshit to cut out and real niggas stand up, man. Like real talk. I'm tired of the fake winning and having the influence because the ignorant masses likes the shit show. And since y'all came over here for the shit show, I hope y'all subscribe and stick around for the building conversations or just when we're just arguing. Sister Sapphire is in the building. Don't get it fucked up, twisted, put it in the wrong direction, or misconstrued. Peace to you. How you doing?
Peace to the panel. Peace to those who are listening now and in the near future. I just had to call and just show my love and support for Solarmind. I've been following him for some years now when he was with Oh God, putting in that work, exposing the scams and stuff like that. And I just want to say, Solar, I'm so proud of you just putting everything out there, being very transparent, putting your business out there. I know it's not easy to do. I know a lot of people are watching like, wow, but all of us do have a history. We're not perfect. You know, you have shown a lot of growth within the last 20 years of your life, which is to be commended. And I just wanted just to jump on here and say thank you for being a man about it and showing some integrity and showing that this is how you come clean, even if your past doesn't look clean, you know. And I so admire you even more now that you have put everything out there. You know, it takes a strong man to swallow his pride and do this. And this is clearly a deflection of what happened to that 14-year-old with the DNA evidence. Okay, this is about DNA evidence that can't be disputed, but yet no police records are being pulled out on a big platform to discuss this issue. Everybody else police records is out there except for the main issue of a 14-year-old being ejaculated by a grown ass man. And you know, I just think that this is really sad. This is what our generation have become. You know, we have swept a lot of this, sexual abuse and, crime and domestic violence under the rug. And for you to be so, transparent about what happened and being questioned, and you were being drilled. I was watching the whole thing. The brothers on the panel, shout out to them for being totally honest, but you handle it. And I hope that this will also encourage those that if they get called to the carpet just to come clean, and use this as a foundation. We all have a past and we're not all here to judge. It's just based on what are you doing right now. And that's all I wanted to say on that.
I
All
appreciate you.
right, all right.
All right, man. Well, we gonna close this out. But the brother Blue wanted Sister Divania and Sister Soul to stick around. So, out of the importance of this matter, I'm gonna end this live stream and let them stay in the back and talk about it. Maybe we set it up for them to come on tomorrow or one of these days because he wants to see them debate. Man, shout out to the family. Real talk. Shout out to all in the chat, man. Hit the like button on your way out. That's it, man. Black power, peace, shalom, shalom, assalamu alaikum, hotel, passe. Peace, my niggas, man. Keep y'all head up so y'all see the bullshit coming. I mean, y'all have progression in the lanes of which you have passion because work is work, but it ain't got to be torture, man. We out.
Suave, Suave,
Here.
before you be out, real quick. Just real quick, just make sure y'all paying attention to what's going on. If you don't end it, it's fine, bro. Make sure y'all paying attention to what's going on with these damn agents. I'm telling you, just listening to what he just said. When he was playing that recording with Sinetta dude, right? He kept saying, yeah, I got this record. I got his record. I got this record. He kept throwing information at Solar, telling him this person business, talking about this one, what his woman looked like, this, and that, all this weird stuff he was saying. Like, dang, you just gossiping at this point. And this man calling you about one thing. So he kept deflecting what Solar was talking to him about. He knew his point was, brother, you need to get up here on your platform, get this dude, make sure you letting everybody know you denouncing any affiliation because of what's going on, at least to this time, blah, blah, blah. He kept deflecting it, trying to big his head up so he could change his mind and stop talking about it. Then he talked about these records. This is some agent shit. I don't care what nobody say. The more I'm hearing, the more agent like it sound. Why would this man have access to all these people records? Yes, you can go right on the internet and get them, but who does all that? For what? Why would you be doing all that? And why do you need people's records? And why are you concerned about people's records? And you probably got one of your damn own, if not with your military affiliation. Since you was found with a dropping a police badge before, talking about it was your brothers. What police officer let their brother hold their damn badge? That don't even make sense to me. A whole bunch of stuff they say don't make sense, and people just need to put the pieces of the puzzle together because it's looking like a lot of nonsense. Like the sister said, all these other people coming up now, everybody's talking about this. Oh, look at this one arguing with this one. These people, I ain't gonna even lie. The last 4 days, it's like 3 people channel I never even heard of before. And they getting big just off of these conversations of the arguing back and forth. Not about what's being talked about and exposing this demon, nasty pedophile. They're talking about all this arguing stuff. And these people blowing up off this information. Why are y'all blowing up off this information? Why is it that y'all putting everybody in the so-called conscious community out there in the public and saying, look at all these people with records. This one is this one, this one was that, this one was that. Y'all doing this for a reason. This is some agent shit. They did this before. They did it before with the Black Panther movement. They implanted people and come man. I'm sorry. I just had to say that again before you ended it, bro. Because all this shit sounds like too much BS to me, and it's just a lot of rigmarole. When things are going on like this, it's something else behind the scene. That's all I'm saying. I'm done.